there! Did you know that you can request a private video from me made just for you that you can keep forever and ever? Yep, that's right. I can wish you or a loved one a happy birthday or even give you a pep talk. I'm in Kuwait, so if you want a cameo at a specific location like a night
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hopefully you folks can hear me. Hopefully my voice is coming in loud and clear. One moment there. All right. Let me start saying hi to everybody. Well, actually, let me get myself displayed here properly. Whoops. All right, hopefully you folks get a good look at me there. All right, let's get this back on here. Let's look at some comments real quick. Icy847. Oh, thank you so much, Icy. Yes, Fiona's mom should be guesting on tonight, actually. Let me share that with everybody. Let me turn down the music a little bit. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better to hear me now. All right. Welcome in, Nutty. Good to see you again this week. Excuse me, getting a little bit choked up from trying to drink my seltzer and talk at the same time. Hey everyone, hey Nutty, good to see you. Yes, everyone, please, if you're enjoying the show, be sure to click that like button and that subscribe button if you'd like to see more of this content. Hey Fiona's mom, good to see you. Yes, Fiona's mom's gonna be coming on a little later tonight to talk for a little bit. Hopefully it'll be a fun little appearance. She's got some news as far as her situation with her, well, I'll let her explain it herself. Don't want to take away her story, right? So let me get back on the comments and get everybody welcomed in. Welcome to Jamie Carpenter. Hope you're doing well. I know you've also we're going to be getting some surgery pretty soon. I don't know if you're getting that soon or what, but hopefully everything's going good for you. Welcome in, Rosebud. Hey, Rudy. Yeah, I'm missing Sarah J too. She's been taking a little break. She's been a little bit under the weather, but I did see her the other week, so hopefully she's doing all right. Oh, very nice, Fiona's mom. That's good to hear. Oh, okay. Good to see you tonight. Any cows mooing tonight? We got the lol cows in the pasture. Are they mooing? I don't know. Maybe they'll start mooing Crazy Frog. All right, let me turn down this music a little bit more. Let me finish getting everybody welcomed in. Hey Nancy, good to see you. Grateful Life, good to see you. Susie Q, always a pleasure. Welcome in, Wooly. Great, the audio's good. Okay, get everybody welcomed in here. Looks like we're catching up now. Hey, Lucy J. Cruz, happy birthday to you. I'll sing happy birthday in just a minute. Cracking open a beer, you know me, drinking my O'Doul's non-alcoholic. I just drink a seltzer, but it sounds like a beer, I don't mind. If you do want to have a beer, now's a good time to have one. You know, right? At work, hopefully everybody's off work, relaxing. All right, I think we got almost everybody welcomed in here. If I miss anybody, my apologies. Welcome into all the lurkers, of course. Elise always wants to see Nal, but Nal's just, I'll put on a little bit of Nal tonight, but she's kind of depressing. Like, she's just so, like, obnoxious. Like, that's the only thing, but, like, I'll cover a little bit of Nal. We'll cover a little bit of Nal, but she is just too, like, she's just too toxic. I'm trying to do a funny show. She's just like too hardcore. But I will take the vote into consideration. Not the crazy frog. Kill the crazy frog, please. Had enough of the crazy frog. Oh, that's awesome, JB. Good. I'm so happy to hear that. Hearts in the chat, everybody, by the way, for JB and Fiona's mom, and hopefully for Skinny Queen if she's lurking, if she comes in later. But yeah, if we can get some hearts in the chat, that'd be really cool. Just way to get us started tonight. Oh, Jarella's in traffic. Hey, absolutely, yeah. Don't have a beer yet then. Now it's completely off the deep end. Now is still one of the more interesting stories. I'll admit that. Aliza, you are correct. She's more interesting. But yeah, you know what? Actually, Cobra put out a new video. We can watch the Cobra video because that's not as depressing as now. And it covers them both that way. Okay, I think that's a good compromise. We can cover a little bit of Cobes later. That seems like a good compromise. Okay, let me cut off the music here, and I want to really cover Foodie's diet, Foodie's weigh-in, because to me that's the most interesting story. I'm also somebody who I feel like I know the most about that kind of subject. Talking about health and diet and grocery hauls. I feel like that's really my strength as a commentator, as a reactor. I feel like that's what I bring to the table best. At least I think so. All right, because it's certainly not my production values, because this show barely even operates most nights. Yeah, Nal is losing it. Shani and Rev is another one I don't cover enough, but I actually watched them a couple times. They were kind of funny, so maybe I should start covering them. Yeah, Cobes was yeah, I did see some of that. No problem, Jamie. I'm glad to hear it. I'm happy for you. Nirvana, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good night. Oh, thank you so much, Fiona's mom. I kind of do a little self-deprecating humor, put myself down a little bit as a joke. I have a little fun that way, but I appreciate your words of support. Yes, and anybody else, if you're watching, please be sure to leave a like if you'd like to see more of this content. And, subscribe if you'd like to see more. Leave a like as well, that helps. Anybody, any lurkers, good to have you in here. And also thank you to anybody watching the replay, all the chatters. All right. That was very discoordinated. Everything's discoordinated tonight. I'm discoordinated. Okay, let's watch Foodie.
Nice beach or a mall.
Penguin Foodie. This is my favorite of her intro pictures. I think everybody else likes this one too. This is just, he's got a little beak. I love it.
Just let me know.
Okay. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. Well, let me make sure the volume is good too. Hopefully I can... Oh, very beautiful. I love this view that Foodie has too. Like on one hand, yes, it's an ocean view, but the parking lot really is like brings it down. Like it's half of a really nice view. I saw some of that too.
When I said I work out with barely.
I saw some of that too, so yeah.
Nothing with the curtains open. The curtains are barely open, and you can't see anything with the sun shining through. And I just wear a t-shirt and no hijab.
Okay, so this is what Foodie's saying. By the way, let me give everybody an update. Anybody who's not aware, Foodie has been dieting now on and off dieting. What, over 2 weeks now? Almost 3 weeks, maybe even more, possibly. But yeah, like she's had a lot of opportunities to diet now. She's supposedly been doing really well. She allegedly lost 2 pounds, was it last week? She claims she lost, 30 pounds in Thailand? Which is, all this stuff is hard to believe. She also outed herself with what we suspect is her real weight. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But she's also been doing this treadmill walking. 20 minutes a day, 10, 15 minutes a day at 2-point-something speed. Let's let her explain it a little bit, and then we're gonna do a little more coverage. So yes, about 2 weeks of dieting now. Has she been honest? Because what she's been showing on camera has been pretty good.
So the amount of calories burned is actually inaccurate. I use calculator.net to calculate for my body weight.
And I hope that the volume is good. Everybody let me know if it's loud enough you can hear Foodie well.
How many calories I would burn in 15 minutes of moderate walking, and it's actually 103 calories burned.
Good to see you, Kimbalena. And also, I see Gigi's made it in. Welcome in, Gigi. Kimbalena. Archie, good to see you. Anybody else coming in? Always a pleasure. Glad to hope you're having a great night, everybody. Oh, and also, let me say this. I don't say this enough. If there's anybody who's new in the chat, anybody, if this is your first night here, feel free to introduce yourself, say hello, or if you just want to give your opinion on something, we're always happy to have new people. You're welcome here. Just follow the lead of the people who've been here longer, and you'll be just fine. Okay, so here we have Foodie's weigh-in. Last week, she said she was down to 334, which we know is not true because we calculated what her weight is based on what she reported as her daily maintenance calories. That's what I wanted to remind everybody. Last week, Foodie ratted on herself. She told everybody what the calories were that she needed to maintain her body weight. It was over 3,000 calories per day. So that means that at her height, she had to weigh over 400 pounds. So she kind of outed herself. So we know this is not a real weight. So this is kind of BS. This is totally performative. This weigh-in is just, it's a big joke. It's a big play for the Beezers. Now, I really want to praise her. I want to praise Foodie. That's my nature, where I want to say nice things about people, even people I don't especially like. But I want to say, oh, I'm so happy for her. I'm glad to see she's dieting. I'm glad to see she's losing weight. Glad to see that she's really, doing it up. But this is all fake. It's all fake. It's all for the camera. Now, is she actually losing any real weight? Maybe, but because she's lied about her weight for so long, she has to first admit how much she weighs before she can show any weight loss. Because anything she shows is going to be a gain compared to the weight that she's lying and saying that she is. So that's basically what happened here, I think, where today she's admitting a little bit closer to her real weight, regardless of whether she actually gained or lost anything. That's my opinion. What do you folks think? Let me get your opinion.
Okay, guys. I made my breakfast. So I have, the eggs are very, very small. They're not large, so I made 3. Scrambled with a cheese slice.
That raises the question. Does anybody else, Nirvana, does anybody else think that Foodie has been consistent on the treadmill? And consistency, I think that if she's consistent and slowly increases the amount, it will eventually make a good difference. But you can't outrun you can't outrun a bad diet. I think that's a good way to put it. Anyway, here's a breakdown of what she ate in this meal. This is her breakfast that she ate here. Kafif brand white bread, 73 calories for the slice. That's very average. I don't know anything about the ingredients in this bread, so I couldn't tell you, but the calories are fine. A small egg, or 3 eggs, 3 small eggs. That's good. 50 calories of butter. That's, I believe, half a tablespoon. That's reasonable. 3 olives, 15 calories, good. Almond bries, unsweetened almond milk, 10 calories worth. I'd be surprised if she's measured this correctly. Same thing with the sugar. I'd be surprised if she's measuring the sugar correctly. Knowing Chantel, it's very easy to underestimate your calories on things like this. And also an interesting fact some people may not know. Calories, they have to estimate them within like 10, they can only estimate within, I think, 10%. They don't know exactly how many calories anything is. So when you factor in that you don't really know the exact weight most of the time, you don't really know exactly how many calories a lot of stuff is. But still, the estimates are still better than nothing. They're usually pretty good. So we'll continue here. The cheese, slice of American cheese, 56 calories. Piece of tomato, 22. And the feta cheese.
A bit of butter on the toast, multigrain
70
toast.
calories.
Some tomato, a small tomato with some cheese. It's like a feta cheese. And some olives, grilled olives. And
agreed.
I have a water and a coffee. I just use instant Lavazza brand. And I put 2 teaspoons of sugar.
Okay, she says she uses instant Lavazza brand. First of all, why do you use instant if you make coffee regularly? Make some fresh. But if you do want instant, at least she's not using the 3-in-1, so that's good.
And some unsweetened chocolate almond breeze. And I was using
that's a good question, Rosebud.
sugar-free flavored syrup, but I can't do it. I don't know. It gives me a headache and makes me really thirsty. So I'm allowing myself, like, I'm trying to keep it under 6 teaspoons of sugar a day. So 2 in my coffee. I have 1 coffee a day. So, and I have my vitamins and my pills that I have to take with food. So.
All right, so she's got her vitamins there, the gummy vitamins. Is anybody here a fan of gummy vitamins? I like gummy vitamins. The only reason the only thing I really have against them is they're a little bit expensive. But as far as the vitamins themselves and the gummies, I think they're good. I think they're tasty. It's easy to chew them. I think that they're probably just as good, if not better, for absorption. So I generally like the vitamin gummies. I just think they're a little bit expensive. And because of that, people tend to not eat enough of them. Because I think you're supposed to eat like 3 or 4 of them a day. It's not like a once-a-day vitamin tablet where you just take one. The gummies don't have as many vitamins per gummy. So you have to take multiple gummies in order to get the full amount of vitamins you need. So they're, like I said, they're just a little more expensive. But other than that, I like them.
First sip of coffee of the day, it's always the best. Bismillah. Beauty sip. Oh.
That's a good point, Nutty. For Foodie to gain 5 pounds is a lot because you got to remember that's on top of her maintenance calories. Her maintenance calories are 3,000 calories a day. So 15,000 calories on top of that is almost a pound a day. That's almost a pound a day. What? No, 5,000 times 3. No, it's basically, well, it's a little bit under a pound a day. It's still a lot of calories when you add it up. You think about how many extras she is. So yeah, that's a pretty crazy amount to eat. That's like what, 6,000 calories a day or more. That's way more than what she's showing us eating on cam. Okay, so the more I think about this is total BS. This meal on cam looks really nice, but what is she actually eating? Because if this is 500 calories, 600 calories, what is the other 5,500? Right? There's another 5,500 unaccounted for here.
Okay, let's try these tomatoes with cheese. I love this. And and there's also some za'atar on it.
Welcome to Cat Steve. Glad to have you.
I'll eat this, and then maybe a couple
Welcome
hours
to
later.
La-di-da.
It's like a part 2 breakfast. I'll have like a bowl of my special.
She had me snowed a little bit, Elizu. Like she had me snowed a little bit in the sense that I wasn't really sure, but I felt like she was at least doing a little bit of something. But if she truly gained 5 pounds, she's not even doing a little bit of anything. She's doing absolutely nothing.
Red berries, which is not sweet at all. It's very low in sugar. Oh my gosh.
I think so too, Nirvana. To gain 5 pounds in a week is
I
crazy.
think 2 eggs would have been enough, actually.
On a week of dieting?
I have a new relationship with eggs. So while I'm having breakfast, I thought I would talk about.
Yes, Fiona's mom. That's a good point. Foodie's talking about getting her sugar down, and she's getting her calories down, or at least she says she is, right? But this is such BS because how can you gain 5 pounds? Like first of all, even her lies don't make any sense. Because think about this. She said she lost 30 pounds when she was in Thailand. Or she said she lost what, like 25 pounds or something? She said she lost a bunch of weight when she was in Thailand, which we all know was a lie. And now she's trying to make us think she's dieting, but then she admits, but I actually gained 5 pounds. Like, why is she being honest now? Of all the times to admit that you gained 5 pounds, why are you admitting you gained 5 pounds now?
How I've been doing this week. Because it's weigh-in Wednesday. I plan to weigh in every Wednesday, regardless of how I'm doing. Because I think it's important.
Probably.
I took my fake nose ring out. It's annoying. I think it's important to
We do want to see
hold
it.
myself accountable.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I have a bit of ketchup. Anyone else eat ketchup on their scrambled eggs? On their eggs?
Oh, by the way, Nutty, why don't you post a link? I always forget to mention this, but if anybody's not aware, Nutty has a channel, a really cool channel. She has some cool vids on there. Everybody definitely, Nutty, if you want to post your link, everybody be sure to give a follow to Nutty there, because she has some funny stuff on her channel. Well, I'll post a little bit of her video at the end tonight.
So I'm holding myself accountable.
It makes it fun.
So basically been on the right track since I came back from Thailand.
That's what Nal does.
Yeah, September 29th. And
oh, that's a good point, Olga. I didn't think of that. I know they make sugar-free gummy vitamins, but if that's an issue for you, that makes a lot of sense to avoid that.
More than off. So the past 3 days.
Oh, geez, that's not good.
I've been overeating. I had a feeling that I would have gained a little bit back, and I'm relieved it's not.
You think so?
Not because
that's actually very interesting. And at least as most gummy vitamins are gross. I don't know about most, but the ones I've had, I thought were pretty tasty.
I knew it was weigh-in day today, and
Welcome
I kept
to Fall
dreaming
Angel.
when I
Good
was
to have you
sleeping last
tonight.
night that, oh my gosh, you know.
Absolutely, thank you.
I'm right back up to 166 kg from when I waited at the doctor's.
She did say that. She said that she has a second breakfast afterward of like cereal and berries. And cereal and berries is one of those things that it sounds really good, but especially not for a second breakfast, because Foodie is first of all, when you're as heavy as Foodie, you really don't need to eat very much at all. Like we've seen with Doctor now. He puts people on 800 calorie diets, 1200 calorie diets. When you're that big, you have so much extra body fat, you could get away with eating a very low calorie diet as long as you get your nutrients. Foodie, she eats because she has the cravings and she doesn't want to do a crash diet. And I understand. I'm not saying she should starve herself with a crash diet, because that's unless the doctor recommends it. But she could get away with eating very, very little. So for her to have a second breakfast is setting herself up for failure.
And my diabetes was just out of control.
Cabs, good to see you, man.
That time I went to the doctor's last year, I weighed 166 kg. My blood sugars were like 23, 24.
Just can't have it on camera.
They had to give me emergency insulin.
Welcome to Grab Apples. Good to see you.
And now my blood sugars are consistently
no problem. Glad you can make it.
8.0.
Hey, Abista. Hey, good to see you, Abista.
5 mmol.
Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're having a good night. Okay, the blood sugar she just mentioned, I'm not an expert on diabetes, but Kidney J calculated it out the other day. I was listening in her chat. She did the math. I don't remember what it came out to in Canadian or American measurements, but it came out to the number that she reported was not a great number. It was not like go to the hospital bad or anything like that, but it was not exactly a great number, at least according to what Kidney J said. So,
which is still elevated, but still an improvement from before. I put a lot of chilies in my eggs. Whew.
Makes sense.
So to keep encouraging myself to be right back on track,
33,
which I am
Rudy.
today. You saw I did my treadmill already. And I'm going to be going up today, so I'll be walking around more. But I've still come, a good ways. And I also feel non-scale victories.
Well, Rudy, to be fair, last I checked it was 32, but hey, 33, 32 plus me, it's 33, right? Guys, I guess I'm an extra one.
There's a shirt that I got back in Canada that I almost didn't bring back with me the last time because it was...
Oh, sure thing, Hippista.
Tight. And
yeah, especially if it's content like that, absolutely. Absolutely. You're more than welcome to post your channel.
And it didn't cover much, and my tummy was showing when I was wearing it. It was just tight around down here, so now it just falls more loosely and stuff like that, so I'm trying not to put too much of my mental health into the scale, but I still do think it's important just to weigh in, just to see where I'm at. So
I'm not sure if I understand your comment fully here. Do you mean what would her medications do to somebody with normal blood sugar? It would probably crash their blood sugar. It would probably make them sick if somebody took it who didn't need it. At least I think that's what you mean. Welcome in, Purple Spirit. Oh, thank you so much for your message. You too. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And everybody in chat's having a wonderful evening. I certainly am having a nice, relaxing evening. Yeah, Foodie should really take advantage of that outdoors, right? That's a good point, Olga. Even though 8 may not be a great number, 25 before was absolutely dangerous. That was very, very bad. So that she at least has it down to something resembling a healthy number is good. You'd think that it would be going even lower, though. Okay, now here's another thing. More proof that she's not dieting for real. And I'll tell you, folks, I went into this wanting to be wrong about it. I wanted to find that Foodie's diet was legit. I was hoping this video would say that she lost weight and she was doing well. But instead, it looks to me that it's not. Because shouldn't her blood sugar be going even lower? Because if she's really dieting and cutting out the sugar like she said, then her medications are going to be stronger than what she needs. She's not going to need this heavy, strong medication anymore.
It's a bit disappointing. I'm not surprised. I've been off track for like 3 days. It was just a slippery slope. And it's hard to catch myself. And
welcome in, Angel.
Usually I go on a much bigger bender, start ordering all kinds of things. I still haven't ordered any fast food. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully this week will be a completely on track week. I have
Absolutely,
to also
Fiona's
go easy on myself for my own mental health reasons, because in the sense that, don't let myself get too down about it and just keep going. Because
if Foodie really gained 5 pounds, if Foodie wasn't such a darn liar, I would say, well, I respect the honesty. I respect the honesty of her admitting how badly she failed this week. But gaining 5 pounds when you're on a diet and your daily maintenance calories are 3,000, for anybody just coming in or anybody unfamiliar with what we talked about last week, Foodie admitted that her maintenance calories are over 3,000 a day, which means that her body weight is over 400 pounds at a height of, 5'1", 5 feet? So she's really in a bad place with her weight. So for her to get some weight down would not take an extreme crash diet. Anything resembling a healthy diet would result in some pretty good weight loss for her. So for her to gain 5 pounds on top of her already heavy weight means that she's really packing in the food there. That's not somebody who's just overeating a little.
Slip-ups are going to happen when you're fighting.
That's a cheat day every day,
disorder,
basically.
Food addiction, and bad habits also for like 30 years. Or like 20, whatever, So it's bound to happen.
I would be too, Lucy Jane. And I don't mean that I can understand the nature of somebody whose addiction is so bad, but you'd think that she would at least be like looking for cures, looking for solutions, even if they were fake and they didn't work. You'd think that she'd be desperately searching for any cure she could find. Like she'd be falling for like those Unicity drinks, that kind of scam cure. You think she'd be grasping at anything she could. Instead, she's just kind of resigned, or maybe she's in denial.
I take a multivitamin. This is OBU brand. It's about between $20 and $25. Take 2 a day.
Okay, see that's what Elizu and I were both saying here. $25 for some vitamins is just, it doesn't seem like, especially when you have to take 2 of them a day. Maybe you have to take even more than 2 of them a day, to be fair, to get a full dose. Like I don't know what the dosage on these is, but if you got to eat at least 2 a day for $25 for a month's supply, that's like $1 a day almost for vitamins. And I understand that good vitamins aren't cheap, but you can generally get away with some relatively inexpensive vitamins unless you have some special dietary need.
gotta refill my pill thing. It's already been a week.
Oh, do you mean like rhetorically?
Anyway.
Like that, like that's like a good logical question. Like how do we know? Like how do we know the world is round? Like how do we really know? Like how do we know this stuff? Like how do we know the earth revolves around the sun? Like like what is the experiment that we use? So I guess you're right. Like we don't really have a formal diagnosis, do we? We don't truly know, but we can only go off what we think. And I think she does.
The best part of waking up. It's not folders, but whatever.
Your typing socks. That's a new accessory.
So yeah, it's been the past 3 days have been really, really tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, Nutty. There you go.
And I could already tell.
There you go. That's the experiment. Like wasn't even thinking. I was just thinking out loud. But so what's the experiment? How do we truly know? She did a blood sugar test live. That's how we know.
Just by one day not doing the treadmill, I'm finding that the exercise, like, it helps. It's been helping my skin, I believe. My skin looks glowing after sweating buckets and working out. And also, like, the endorphins. I'm so much happier and more energetic. So starting my day off.
Cat C. This is actually I think a great theory. Very interesting theory, Cat C. And I thought about this myself a little bit earlier, and I was wondering, is it possible? Because that makes total sense. It makes total sense that Foodie actually had an okay week. Maybe she didn't gain anything. Maybe she didn't lose anything. Maybe she lost like 1 pound. But she's been lying about her weight for so long that unless she admits and says, okay, I actually weigh 400 pounds, so I'm going to start fresh today, this is my real weight. Unless she does a confession type like that, she has to, like, I'm trying to think of a way to describe it, where she has to lie about her weight in pieces. She has to lie in increments. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it well, but I think I understand what you mean, Katsy.
Fasting and doing the treadmill, hopefully it sets me up for a good, revs up my metabolism for the day.
The vitamins? That's a good question. If I had to guess, I would say that I want to say that Foodie is conscientious enough to look for the vegan vitamins because she's supposed to keep halal as a Muslim. And I know that they use vegan vitamins as a way to avoid potential pork products. So maybe just that she bought them in Kuwait, that makes me think that they possibly were vegan.
Gonna get right back on track today.
I'm sorry to hear that, Nancy.
What I was having the most difficulty
That's frustrating.
with is just overeating, having an extra meal, an extra snack.
Hope you can get some good news on those. I know we already did some hearts in the chat, but anybody wants to throw some more in, if hopefully Nancy can see these. Sorry for the joke, Nancy, but hopefully you can. Hopefully your eyes, you get some good news on that, and you do get the eye surgery so that you can get it. My mother had cataracts; she had to get them removed, so it's and she sees really well now. So hopefully you get good results on that. I know that pork gelatin is halal. Interesting. I did not know that, Fiona's mom. How much your what is your blood sugar? I don't remember but I'm interested to know. Okay, so let's get back to this. This video is almost over.
But not nearly as bad as I would if I normally would be off track before. This was, off track light in comparison.
We don't really know, to be fair. We don't. Like, we're just going off assumptions. And I think she does, but we don't really know. Like, we don't, could be just for the camera.
That's where I'm at. So yeah, if I'm feeling a bit hungry later, I plan to have a bowl of cereal, with some low-fat milk and maybe a grapefruit. We'll see after that. I would like to do some...
That is, I did not know that about the sunlight. I do a pretty good job avoiding direct sunlight, so hopefully that'll be good for me long term. And yes, please, everybody, if you enjoyed the show, please hit that like button. And later tonight, we're actually going to have Fiona's mom coming on briefly to chat a little bit about give her opinion on a few things, as well as let us know a little bit about what's going on with her. So everybody, hopefully, you can stay tuned for that later tonight. That's a fair opinion. I think that it's always best to want more proof rather than accept less. It's always best to be a little skeptical
videos, maybe. So
rather than be too
anyway,
accepting.
I guess that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening to me and following my journey. And if you're on a journey of your own, good luck.
Welcome to Chow Babe.
I hope we can all support each other in becoming better versions of ourselves.
All right, Foodie with the platitudes. Let's hear the platitudes.
And I'll see you guys in the future. Bye.
All right, Foodie with her platitudes. Let me put on the bumper, and we'll put on something else in just a moment. But let me catch up on the chat really quick while I get the bumper up. No problem. Oh, that's a common story. I welcome Jen Chow Man, right? I got lost in the chat here again. Okay. I apologize. I missed anybody in the chat. I got to scroll up a little bit. Welcome to Sense of Wonder. I like that. Is that the King Raccoon? I like that picture. The Queen Raccoon. I don't know, but that's a great raccoon. Oh, it's the opposite. Okay, Fiona's mom. Yeah, I was wondering. That didn't make sense to me. Okay. Oh, yeah, lying in segments to catch up with her weight. Thank you. Yes, that's what I was trying to. Yeah, that's I think what Cat C meant. All right. So let me just make sure I'm caught up here on the chat. Everybody, welcome in, Blondie. Where are you? Hey, good to see you, Blondie. Hopefully you're having a good evening. Let's make sure we're caught up here. Okay, I think we're mostly caught up on the chat. If I missed anybody coming in, my apologies. Thank you so much for coming in here. Be sure to hit that like button so you can see more of this great content. Hopefully great content if you enjoy it. Let's let me find the next video I was gonna run, because Foodie did one about her friend Aisha. But I also want to cover that. You know what? Let me cover that one really quick with Josh, King Cobra. It's a short one. I'm just gonna cover part of it. I'm just gonna cover that. He did a short video about his ex, which I think might be a little funny to watch. I watched some of it already, so let's pull that up. I know it'll make Elizu happy. Elizu's been good. She deserves a video. All right, let's see here. Where is he? All right, I'm gonna search for the. I'm gonna go to my playlist. Hold on. Got him in the playlists. One second, folks. Just pulling out the playlist here. Okay. If my ex shows up.
Well, YouTube.
This is his latest video. I think he actually did another one, but he deleted it. I think he actually deleted the other one he did, because I thought he had another one after this as well, but he might have deleted that one. All right, so let me pull this. Let me show this video. This is with King Cobra. He and his crazy ex-girlfriend now have been going back and forth, naked and laughing. Who used to be a Beezer, so it's tangentially related to Girl World. Here's a pretty short video with King Cobra talking about his crazy ex that he just put up today. Let's hear what he has to say about now.
It's your boy King Cobra back at it with another video. And we're going to discuss the situation with my crazy fucking ex. Now, Jessica Boyle shows up to Casper to try to hurt me. I will let the cops deal with it. I'm not going to risk my fucking freedom over that stupid fat slut. She needs to take a fucking hint and leave me the fuck alone. I'm not going to throw away my fucking freedom for this stupid bitch.
Throw away his freedom. What is it? What is he implying here? Is anybody else a little more caught up than me? Because as far as I'm aware, last I saw, the two of them were not seeing each other. She allegedly put out, quote, revenge porn. Is that true? She took a video of her and Cobes here engaging in a moment of passion, I guess is the way we'll put it. Engaging in a moment of drunken debauchery, disgusting nastiness. The two of them doing their thing. Anyway, so she apparently recorded it and released the video. He went to the police and reported her. So I don't know why he's talking about him going to the police. I know that she accused him of assaulting her and doing bad things to her with her, but there's never been any evidence provided for any of that. Never been any charges filed. Yeah, he really should.
Jessica needs to leave me the fuck alone. Getting tired of her shit.
Good question, middle of nowhere. Welcome in. I think it's
tired
W
of this
right
shit.
now.
A lot of my fans have been reaching out to me. They're like, I'm worried about you, Cobra, blah, blah, blah. And like, I'm not worried.
A lot of his fans are reaching out to them. Does he include his parents as his fans? Because I don't think anybody else is really that worried.
Jessica's a fucking punk bitch, dude. She ain't nothing but a little fucking slut. A little cock-sucking slut who's going to die alone in her parents' house with too many cats of alcohol poisoning.
Oh, this is the craziest part too. They're both accusing each other of like who's the worse alcoholic, who's the bigger loser, who's more dependent on their parents. Like they're both accused of throwing the exact same insults at each other, just saying, "No, you're worse than me. You're worse than me. You're a worse alcoholic. You're a bigger freeloader." It's like what kind of they're absolutely throwing stones at each other's glass house.
The thing of it is, Jessica, you wouldn't talk all this shit about me if you did not realize I was right on this situation. And the fact that you're fucking going on social media and threatening to shoot me on camera.
What?
You're gonna get arrested, dude.
What? Okay, I was not aware of that. Is that because I have not been keeping up with all the details? That must be a new development. She now violently threatened his life now. That is taking it a step too far, and she is wild enough that she could do it. Also, just to put anybody up on my opinion on this, on Cobes and Nal and all that, I'm not a fan of Cobes. I think the guy's a dork. I think he's a loser, but I think Nal is toxic, and I think she's dangerous, and I think that I don't like to use the word evil, but maybe she is. She just seems like a really nasty piece of work, really bad person in a lot of ways. And as much as I don't care for Cobes, she's definitely the worst one out of the two of them by far. However, that said, Cobes needs to keep her blocked. He needs to stay away from her because he had her blocked. They were basically broken up pretty much. And then he unblocked her, and then he released a video about her and basically dragged himself back into it.
And no one's going to bail your sorry fucking psychotic ass out.
I think that's fair. Puff is...
I'm done taking her crap.
Let me just give a shout out to House of Hannibal also. Excellent channel. Be sure to check him out. He covered some juicy drama last night. I was watching some of the replay. But yes, not so much drama, more about Hannibal apparently did a segment on Puff, which was Cobes' pet. He had a pet lizard. And apparently the lizard, quote, wandered off, disappeared. In reality, it looks like what happened was it died from exposure. And Cobes either hid the body or he lost the lizard and then it died and he just never admitted that he found it. Or he never found it. But it's pretty clearly it's passed on. And it's sad because the lizard did nothing but count on him to keep it alive, right? The lizard can't survive in that freezing cold out there. And so for him to keep, yeah. Why is he giving her attention? Excellent question, Nirvana. Why is he unblocking her? Why is he giving her attention? Is he that desperate for some sex? Because if he is, that's pretty sorry.
Like I said in my last video about this situation, I would rather the cops deal with it than, you know what I'm saying, exaggerate the situation kind of thing. On record, I do not want to hurt her. I'm speaking on record right now. I do not want to hurt Jessica. I just wish she would leave me the fuck alone.
He needs
She's
to do
mentally
that.
unhinged, and I can't stand her fucking shit.
Wishes she'd leave me the F alone. Okay, Cobes, but didn't you unblock her? Didn't you post a video about her the other day after she kind of had left you alone? Like, and I'm not saying that you deserve any of this craziness, but you need to you need to stay away from her. You can't keep, you can't keep giving her trying to get the right word for it. You can't keep giving her an out. Don't keep giving her a place to go. Say, nope, no more. This is over. Don't keep giving her hope. Giving her attention.
I can't fucking stand Jessica Boyle. I wish she'd just fucking leave me alone.
It's degrading. It's awful.
So I'm going on record right now saying, for future references, if Jessica Boyle shows up with a gun, I will let the cops fucking deal with it, and she can.
Okay, before we go back to what Cobes just said there. This is an interesting point here by Cat C. So that if Cobes got a restraining order, his videos and the chat and everything would become subject to litigation. Is that the correct word? Really, I hope not, Lucy Jane. I'm gonna say I pray not. I hope not. I think that she's crazy enough that she could, but I pray that doesn't happen. Yeah, and they're both pretty nutty. Yeah, it's sad. I hope that it's not true. So what's he saying here about a
right
weapon?
Now saying, for future references, if Jessica Boyle shows up with a gun, I will let the cops fucking deal with it, and she.
Okay, well, if that's what she does, Cobes, I hope you do, because if she shows up with a weapon, she's probably going to use it. Like, she seems crazy enough to do it. And does anybody remember the video that she took where she and him got in a fight and he pulled out a gun, and I guess I'll put a content warning here, pulled out a weapon and pointed it at himself. So she got that on video. So this would not be the first time that there's been a potential threat of violence around these two. It just feels, and everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good old time, but if it ends badly, it's not going to be funny if it really ends with violence. So as much as I'm laughing about this, I really hope that this just ends here. This has gone on far enough at this point. It's not really funny anymore. It's good not to be too serious now, I think. It's time to let this go.
Can get arrested. Because I'm not putting my life and my freedom at stake just because she can't take a fucking hint. This bitch is fucking unhinged. I fucking hate her. You think I'm joking?
I agree,
the last
Purple
time
Spirit.
Jessica Boyle showed up, I called the cops on her and she acted shocked. I told her. I fucking told her that was going to fucking happen.
Welcome in, Yellow
She didn't
Boo.
believe me. And I figured, fucking whatever, she'll fucking mature up a bit. No, she wouldn't. She's the worst.
I think there's a bit of a thing going on here where they don't want to be accused of denying them, like I feel like a lawyer, if they broke them up, a lawyer or somebody would come by and say, hey, you're denying him his right to be in an adult relationship just because he's disabled. He's allowed to have a girlfriend, right? And just because she is mentally disturbed, she's allowed to have a boyfriend, right? So legally, they can't just stop them on principle. So I think that maybe that's part of it. Maybe they're concerned about the optics. I mean, I guess also because you can only do so much. If people don't want to follow their own best interest, you can't force them to. Okay, that's the whole video pretty much.
Whatever, she'll fucking mature up a bit. No, she wouldn't. She's
Welcome in, Yellow Mood. Welcome in, Seafood Pie. Hopefully you're having a good evening.
And I might have to file another fucking report on her ass.
He stays drinking alcohol. He needs to put on a shirt, needs to get a shave, needs to get some alcohol, or needs to put away the alcohol. I guess he needs some alcohol. Well, he needs to make up his mind. He needs to have some more drink. All right, I've got another video here. It's a very short, again, a short one, and then we're going to get back to Foodie's diet to close it back out. We're going to get to Fiona's mom and then Foodie's diet to close it back out. But I have one more video that's pretty short that I think is absolutely hilarious. And it is the origin of the feeder meme. Remember that meme that Skinny Queen used to joke about? And a few people have joked about it. About the funnel. Allegedly, the feeder's using a funnel. Well, it turns out that's a real thing. And Fiona's mom sent me a link. This is how I guess this episode kind of got started or planned. Fiona's mom sent me a link about a documentary. And in that documentary, there was a video used. And in that video, there was the origin of
because it's not just, you don't just sip it, do you? You use a funnel.
the origin of the funnel meme is from this video. At least I think it is. This is the oldest video I could find where anybody mentions a funnel. So let me get out of the video, and you folks can tell me what you think as far as the funnel. Oh, let me get caught up on the chat real quick, too. Is this channel monetized? I think it actually is, which is pretty crazy considering Skinny Queen is not. Yeah, not crazy, not good. Good question, Elizu. Cobes is too desperate. He's too desperate, too hard up for his own good. I got to skip ahead on some of the chat, folks. I apologize. I know I'm missing a lot of really good chat, but I can only, I'll be here all night if I read through all of it. Hey, Kid DJ, good to see you. Sorry about missing that pesky notification. Oh, it's a very nice picture you got there tonight. Sour Cat Lemons, good to see you. Oh, you got a new picture too. Girl, it's good to see you. Happy Halloween, everybody. Yes, happy October, happy Halloween, happy holidays, all that good stuff. Yeah, right. Wow, geez, Archie, sounds tough, but I think you're right about Cobes there, at least. A funnel video with Orlin? Oh my God, I'm never watching that. I'm never watching that. Yeah, and his dad doesn't seem too interested. Okay, folks, I know I missed some of the. I know I missed a bunch of your chat, but we got to get. I want to get to the video. I don't want to, I don't want to be gone for too long. Okay, so let me put on the video here. Take off the bumper. This is the origin of the funnel meme, at least as far as I can tell. This is from a BBC morning show.
Yeah, we actually use this funnel right here. I would put this part in my mouth and Sid would pour the shake in the other side.
So is this like a sexual thing? Because we've got a demo of you being fed by funnel at the moment. So
I guess I should put like a content warning because this is sexual for some people, and for other people this is absolutely disgusting. So I probably should have put a content warning. It's too late now. My apologies. This is disgusting.
Obviously, you could sip that over, sort of 10 minutes or so or whatever. But it's what is it? A sexual thing that it's poured down your throat?
Yeah, for me it is.
Okay, actually, that sounds like it's the origin. Okay, never mind. That might be the very first appearance back in the late 80s. Wow. Okay, so this is from, I want to say this is from the early 2000s. So this is not as old as that, not even close. Skinny Queen is a little bit under the weather, but last I heard from her, she was doing a little bit better. She's still doing well on her diet last I spoke to her. Yes, Sour Cat, you're up to date on all that stuff. Foodie absolutely has gone off the deep end with her diet. She's eating, by my calculation, and yes, the weight, she basically ratted on herself with the weight. Her maintenance calories are about 3,000 a day, so she's eating over 6,000 calories a day in order to gain that much weight. Okay, let's let this run.
I like the rush of it. It's kind of like,
She likes the rush of it.
yeah, for me it is. I like the rush of it. It's kind of like, I guess kind of like you can compare it to an eating competition.
Your relationship, you said you do.
She likes the rush of it. Compare it to an eating competition. I'm going to call BS on that. I'm not a big follower of eating competitions, but as last I checked, they're like they're not a team sport. You don't have somebody else putting the food in your mouth, especially not your partner. I don't think it's like an eating competition. Not that I think eating competitions are that great, but don't try to say this is the same as an eating competition, because I think that there might be some eating competitions might be okay. I think some of them get far too gluttonous, but I don't think it's automatically a bad thing to have a little.
You say you're bonded by this, and so you've said some lovely things about that. You can talk to Monica about anything, and you have this real closeness.
Oh, and by the way, this clip is off center. That's the original. This was recorded off somebody's television, so this is just what it's gonna have to look
So
like.
the reality of what you're doing is that this person that's very close to you and is your friend may not be around for that much longer. I mean, Monica, you are sort of putting strain on every part of your body. You are slowly moving towards a grave.
Oh, yes, actually. Okay, you know, thank you very much, Archie. That's a good point. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So everybody, be sure to, many places are offering free, low-cost exams. Get checked. Men, too. That is true. Men can get breast cancer as well. So be sure to get yourself checked, especially if you are in a high-risk category.
But it's like every time I light up a cigarette, you know, I'm going toward, I refer to it as driving another nail in the coffin. I mean, every time you get in the car, you can get in the crash.
I don't want to see a lot of ones.
You might as well just go inside and wrap yourself in bubble wrap.
Yes, I sort of get that, but you know, it's a little bit like getting into a car with you guys and
Right? Back in the day, people used to drink a beer. What? You know, I remember when I thought that was, you know, that used to have a bad reputation. But that sounds downright wholesome compared to
drive very
milkshake.
fast with your eyes shut, because the inevitable is actually going to happen. And Holly pointed out that you said she's the person I go to and tell her everything, but you are actually killing her, aren't you?
We don't see it like that at all. Because
Oh my
even if Sid
God!
wasn't in the picture,
If Becky had a brother, right?
I would still be eating the way I eat because I love food. I'm addicted to food.
He looks a little
and
slow.
I will admit that. So I don't see it like that at all.
Now, at 71 stone, if you reach your goal, how did you get to the food without help?
I love the way he asked that question. She's genuinely puzzled.
So I don't see it like that at all.
Now, at 71 stone, if you reach your goal, how did you get to the food without help?
I mean, there's plenty of men who position, so
I have people message me every day. I'm just about, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. I mean,
You are making
so that's not really
money
an
out of
answer.
this as well, aren't you?
He does. He looks slow.
Between the two of you, you have an online profile as well. You post videos on there. You earn $100 a pop for certain videos that you put up on there. So is it a money-making thing?
No, it's pleasure for me. Like, it's...
Oh, Nutty,
you know,
Nutty, yes, I can second that. These folks here, if they're from Texas, they are not representative of the average Texan. I mean, these people are not representative of the average American either, which kind of bothers me. They're on the English TV, right? They have to get 2 American people on there. They can't, you know, can't they use at least two Brits?
For both of us, it's something we both love to do. And this is just our life. I enjoy making videos, and yeah.
And you say you have a bit of active sex life, and you are talking about children. So, would you like to have a baby?
We would like to have children. You know, if a doctor did tell me I had to lose weight in order, then I think I would lose weight. I wouldn't.
If a doctor told her she had to lose weight to have children, then she thinks she would lose weight. I'm a fake doctor, but I can tell you for real, you need to lose weight if you want to have children. I mean, you're so big. Even if biologically she was able to have children, even if her body was able to get pregnant, there's a good chance that the pregnancy would not go smoothly because she's just too darn big, and she probably has some kind of other health complication. I doubt she's healthy in every way.
Down to.
That's not to say you have to be healthy in every way to be a parent, but you should try to be as healthy as possible.
Super thin or anything, but just to be able to have a baby, yes.
How would you possibly look after a child at that size?
Good question.
We can hire a nanny.
There you go. That's her plan. She's going to hire a nanny. For you? What about for the child, though? Yeah, all right.
That's not a big deal.
And the fact that Holly did point out that there's no getting away from the fact that if you got to that goal of 71 stone, then you were life limited. How would that impact on a potential child? Isn't it irresponsible to be that big and then have a baby?
That's a very fair question. Is it irresponsible to be that big and then choose to get pregnant? That's a fair question. Let's see what her answer is.
I don't think it is. Everybody lives their own life the way they want, and that's the life I would have chose.
No. Absolutely fascinating. When's the next feed?
I love his response there. I love his response. He says, "Well, that's the life that I would choose." Says, "All right, fair enough." He asks such a serious question, and then he just accepts such a flippant answer. If you're going to ask a serious question, I think you should. I think you have a responsibility to the audience to expect a serious answer, and her answer was not satisfactory in my opinion. I don't think she really answered that question. I think I don't really care for this guy. I think that it was a good question, but he should not have accepted such an answer.
Fair enough. Absolutely fascinating. When's the next feed?
I'm sorry?
When's the next feed?
You are caught up, Sour Cat. You're doing a good job.
Feed?
Yeah. When,
I don't know. Just whenever.
when's the next funnel?
That is not a good stat, Nutty. I'm not happy to see that.
Just whenever we want to. There's not
Oh,
really
wow.
a time.
That's a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, look, thank you for joining us today.
Right? There's
Thank
nothing
you,
left
guys.
for the kids.
Absolutely fascinating.
It does look like Spider-Man or a pumpkin or something. I'm not really sure, but Alizu. All right, now that is probably true. That is. I wasn't going to stand for your Texas slander, but they are probably juggalos. I can concede to that. All right, so that's our feeder clip for the night. And now we're gonna run a little bit of Foodie, and then we're gonna bring on Fiona's mom actually pretty soon. But let me just put on Foodie for a little bit, get caught up, and then I'll be bringing on Fiona's mom. If you want to click on the link that I sent you and get backstage, and I'll bring you on up in a few minutes, I think, if that works for you. All right, but yeah, let's put on the bumper. Oh, actually, here's something. Talking about feeders, one last clip from a feeder here. We got BBW Layla, Foodie's follower. Wrong one. This one here. Her breathing is so heavy all the time, and she doesn't know why. And of course, people respond, the heavy breathing should scare you. It means your heart and lungs have to work harder. You have no idea. You're about 400 pounds. You don't know why you can't breathe properly. You've gained so much weight. Excess weight can make it harder for the lungs to expand. This guy says in Portuguese, there's still people who think they're beautiful. They have to worry about their health. It's that extra. In other words, I don't know why I felt like bringing that up, but I just did. Okay. Now, let me put up the bumper, and we're going to get back to, I want to show Foodie's grocery haul. That is the other video I'd like to cover. So let me get that as well. Give me a second here. Let's pull that up. And she also goes off on Salah. I have the recent stream she did. Let me pull it up. And I also have another one where she talks about her friend Aisha, but let me, her former friend. Okay, let me get this up here. Because this one here, we got a grocery haul, which I really want to cover. Those are always fun, in my opinion. Oh, we got Crazy Frog, too. We got to cover that. Okay, 1 second here. Whoops, wrong tab. Hold on. There we go.
Maybe with a classic one, like piano.
Oh yeah.
So like the visas will not be boring or bored, you know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put my food together when the chicken strips are ready. Hi, Pajami.
All right, she's got her food here, apparently.
What do you do?
Where's the, he plays the piano the whole time.
Hey, Jamie.
What did you guys have for dinner?
Hold on a second, folks. I'm trying to find the part where the grocery... I thought this was the grocery haul. All right, well, we're going to get the part where she plays Crazy Frog. Plays Crazy Frog against the food.
That's the worst. Okay.
All right,
Look,
Fiona's
babe.
mom, and if you want to come on up while I find the other video. I'm going to let this run for a second while I find the other video I want to use.
You don't want one? No?
Sorry, folks. Let me
Maybe
find the
later.
other one.
When I be hungry, you will make it for me.
Okay. Sure. So I made these are jalapeno chicken strips and some pickle chips, lettuce, tomato, mayo, hot sauce, and a bit of cheese. And pickles.
And it's done by the air fryer, right?
In the oven, because they're...
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no... Okay, with oil or without oil?
No.
Nice. Because without is more healthier.
Bismillah.
All right, so we got Foodie here with her pretend diet. She's doing this whole pretend diet on camera, but she's got fried chicken strips here. So let's look at these fried chicken strips a little bit better.
Pickle chips, lettuce, tomato.
Full, thank you.
Maybe later.
When I be hungry, you will make it for me.
Okay. Sure. So I made these are jalapeno.
Oh, geez, let me get caught up
chicken
on the chat
strips
again.
And some pickle chips, lettuce, tomato, mayo, hot sauce, and a bit of cheese. And pickles.
And it's done by the air fryer, right?
In the oven, because they're...
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no... Okay, with oil or without oil?
No.
Nice. Because without it's more healthier.
Welcome in, Capricorn NJ. No problem.
Beauty boy.
Yes, her buddy troll, Aisha.
Oh my god.
A lot of them do send some
You want to try a
water.
bite? No? I'm pesty, eh? You want to try?
Oh, it looks like I think we got Fiona's mom up here in just a minute.
No.
Hey, Fiona's mom, hopefully everything's good back there. If you want to put something in the private chat,
Burn
you know
up?
everything's good. Salah with the music. Welcome in, Rose Thorn. Rose Thorn Reacts has a wonderful channel of her own. She does tarot card readings. If anybody wants to post Rose Thorn's link, that's absolutely fine.
Cheese fries from where?
All right, I'm gonna bring Fiona's mom on. We're gonna let her chat, let her talk for a second here.
Yeah.
All right, so let me pause Foodie. Make sure we get the audio volume right. Let me put on the. Okay. So let me get this. All right, Fiona's mom. Is there? Can we? Let's do a little sound check. Testing 1, 2.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can hear you actually very well. Can the audience hear everybody? Hear us? Here, just talk for a second so everybody can have a chance to hear.
Okay, yeah, just hopefully you can hear me and I'm not blowing anyone's eardrums out.
No, it's good. Just keep talking so I can adjust your volume.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about Foodie. I can't believe how excited she gets when she gets these grocery hauls in. She just lights up like a Christmas tree. I'm like, you are kidding me. To me, grocery shopping is like a chore and it's just like a job. I don't get excited about it.
Absolutely. I'm not a big fan of grocery shopping in general. I mean, I certainly like to get tasty food, but I can only get so much, right? I can't just buy nothing but sweets and stuff. All right, so here, as far as Foodie goes, I think we're actually going to switch it up to the video about Aisha because I thought I had another grocery haul this week and I'm not seeing it. But let's let this run just a little bit more. And if you wanted to share about anything you had going on, feel free to as well. I had another grocery haul this week.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to say that I know that the chat is familiar with some of the struggles that I've been having with my inability to have an appetite and to keep food down. And I did have some testing done and I did get the results back.
Okay.
So when she did the endoscopy, she found a lot of bile in my stomach. And apparently I have something called bile reflux, which is where the valve in my small intestines doesn't close all the way. So it allows the bile to kick back up into my stomach. And that's why I can't keep any food down. And the loss of appetite is just simply from the nausea associated with the bile. So she had given me like 2 prescriptions, one of which was to coat the stomach, which she felt like pretty confident that would help. And I've actually been back in the hospital twice since my endoscopy. So that's not going to work. But I go back and I see her in November. And one of the potential surgeries that could be done is called a diversion surgery. And it's where they just create like a new a new connection for the bile to drain away from the stomach into the small intestine. So I hope it doesn't come to that. That seems like a relatively invasive surgery. I mean, I don't know enough about it. I just, not being a doctor and, not knowing a whole lot. I mean, to me, any surgery seems invasive.
Yeah. It sounds serious, to be fair. It does sound like a serious procedure, but I'm glad that you got at least a diagnosis, it sounds like. 'Cause for a while
Yes.
there, you were just in the dark.
Yes. And actually the reason why I elected not to turn on my camera is only just because I'm still struggling with my loss of hair.
Oh,
And
no worries. You don't have to put on a camera for
yeah,
anybody.
okay, because I just feel like really self-conscious about it. I do have a wig. I actually have two wigs, and they're very beautiful and lovely, but they are wigs, and I'm still trying to get adjusted to trying to put them on properly and wear them properly, but that's why.
Well, there's no rush. You take your time, and when you feel, whenever you feel right, you don't have to put on your picture anytime at all if you don't want, but if you do, whatever. There's no rush or time limit or any of that stuff. We got a quick little question in the chat here from Elizu, just asking, maybe you could reiterate about why the bile is dumping into the stomach.
Because the valve in my small intestine doesn't close properly, so it allows the bile to kick back up into my stomach.
Okay. And Elizu's
Yeah,
also asking, do you have a gallbladder at this time?
I don't. I actually had my gallbladder removed about 12 years ago. Now, unlike Foodie, I don't have any dietary restrictions associated with my gallbladder. I never did. It was to me, I wouldn't have known that I had it removed if I didn't know I had it removed.
That's great. That's great, because some people, they have a lot of stomach problems and stuff when they get it out. So I'm glad that you don't. Well, now I guess you do, but at least you didn't for a long
Right,
time.
right, yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, Hippieista, what is that? Are you taking? Oh, is that a vitamin?
Bitten, I think I'm not familiar with that. Is that, yeah, vitamin? I'm not sure.
Oh,
And we got love to you, Fiona's mom from Nirvana. We got some hearts in chat, Lucy Jane
oh,
Cruz. Oh, thank you so much. Prayers from Rose Thorne. I appreciate all your kind words,
oh,
everybody. And Angel Glass mentions here that she has gastrophoresis, I think. I'm not sure.
oh
That
no.
sounds like
Oh,
unpleasant
that's
condition.
terrible.
I'm
Oh,
sorry to
I'm
hear that,
so
Angel
sorry to
Glass.
hear that. Oh, Hippieista, yes, I do take biotin. Actually I take a gummy and then
Okay.
I also take capsules. And I was going to tell you, you in the chat, Dr. Phil, that a really good vitamin that you can take is like Mary Ruth's. And she also has like a liquid um, vitamin. And it's a little on the costly side, but like her vitamins, like you only take one a day. And then like the liquid vitamin that you take, it's like basically you take like a shot glass of it. I think it's like $25, but it lasts for like 2 months.
Okay, that's
It
pretty
ta-
good then.
it tastes horrible, but it does.
It's probably
But
good
it's
for you then.
yeah, exactly. But Mary Ruth is like a really good brand if anyone was curious. I don't know if anyone happens to be on the lookout for anything, but my friend from Florida had introduced me to Mary Ruth, and I haven't looked back since.
Well, I'm glad that you found something that works well, and especially if you have digestive issues, then getting a vitamin that you digest well, like a liquid vitamin or whatever works best for you, that's really important. Just a regular vitamin tablet is great, but again, that's for people who digest it well, who don't have any issues.
Right, exactly.
So it
Sarah
sounds like
Cat,
that's
you're
much
so
better.
sweet. Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you, Dr. Phil, you have just cultivated like this just amazing community. And everyone is just so, so kind and so, so sweet. And when I'm having a bad day, I just know I'm gonna feel so much better when Wednesday night comes because everyone is just so lovely.
Oh well, that's such a pleasure to hear that, Fiona's mom. It's and you're part of this group of people here. I think we do have a wonderful group here. I don't like to get too too deep on anything like that, but I just think we have a good solid group of people here. I think it's a lot of fun. I like also how it feels like we have a very knowledgeable group of people here. Everybody here is, they know a lot about something at least, right? They have some kind of knowledge or experience, and we just have a lot of people here, a lot of funny people, just a really great group here. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And also, I think everybody here is also focused on, I shouldn't say everybody, but I say most people here, they're at least focused on trying to live well, be healthy, help themselves, help others, that kind of thing. We like to make jokes and we like to be a little mean sometimes, but we try not to. But I think it's important that it's not, like an aggressive, harsh, mean place.
Right.
So I think that's important. Okay, so speaking of that, let's be mean. What was that?
Especially someone like Foodie, it's hard not to, because she just kind of brings it on herself, frankly.
That is true, and I think that it's something that's very easy to do as a reactor. It's very easy to kind of get into like a negative rut commenting on Foodie, because there's not a lot of good news with her. But I like to make fun. And like I said to Skinny Queen a while ago, I think that what's interesting about Foodie is she embodies a lot of traits that we see in others and in ourselves. A lot of bad traits, but occasionally some good. And it's a way to like look at somebody who embodies a lot of the worst elements of society and worst elements of ourselves and what we don't want to be like. And it's just, I think that's interesting. It's like watching a reality TV show, like watching Jerry Springer or Murray Povich, and like, oh, geez, I don't want to be like that. I'm glad I'm not like that. That kind of a thing. So with that said, I've got a different Foodie video here we're going to switch over to, get back on the Foodie train. And this one is so perfect because we're talking about being nice and trying not to be mean. And now we're going to be a little bit, I don't know if we're going to be mean, but we're going to certainly listen to Foodie be a little mean, talking about some sad lies for attention from her dear Muslim sister, former Beezer Aisha. And anybody who's been around for a while, the name Aisha is a name you certainly know. We haven't heard it a lot lately, and I guess now this is why. Let's let Foodie describe a little bit of Fiona's mom, and feel free to chime in whenever. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get the volume set so you can just chime in with what you have to say.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Please feel free to skip this one because you probably won't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you probably don't want to know either.
Well, let me take a moment to welcome a few folks in here, or at least to welcome in Tucker and Freds. Good to see you, Tucker and Freds. Hopefully you're having a good evening. And if I missed anybody, my apologies. Oh, Shelly Daly, welcome in. Yes, the 7 deadly sins fighting each other for control. That is Foodie. And if I missed anybody, lurkers, anybody coming in, my apologies. Just say hi or in the chat, and I will try to welcome you when I get the chance. And also, anybody, if this is your first time here, you're in the chat, say hi. Let us know what you think. We try to be a friendly place, so just relax and introduce yourself. All right. That said, let's let this get going here.
People ask me all the time, what's the worst part about being a YouTuber? And I think I finally have an answer. I don't know if it's the worst, but definitely one example I can give you is in this video today. I would say one of the biggest things is being friendly with someone, talking to them in DMs, and then you don't give them enough attention. And they realize they can't really get anything out of you. And, which means they had ulterior motives the whole time, by the way, which is dishonest. And then they switch sides and try to suck up to the other side.
Switch sides, suck up to the other side. Fiona's mom, do you feel like you're part of a side? I don't feel like we're part of a side. I feel like we're just watching a show.
Yeah, exactly. And I sincerely doubt that Aisha is doing this because she feels like she's not getting enough attention from Foodie. Come on.
I just think it's interesting the way Foodie talks about how she went to the other side. Like there's this battle, there's this war, the Beezers versus the reactor front, the reactor nation.
Right.
Welcome in, Javed. Hope you're having a good evening there. Oh, welcome in, Valerie Valera. That's what I'm calling you now because you changed your name. Oh, and Tango Bliss, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good night. All right, let's let this run a little more.
My haters. And they become one of the biggest haters themselves. And hypocrites, as I'm going to point out today. So, there's this former Beezer who recently was questioned by the opposite side.
The ops.
And they came up with all these lies and all this and that, and all these screenshots came out on a reaction channel. So I'm going to go through each one and just talk about them, disprove them, and call out the BS. So I'm not going to credit the reaction channel I got this from because they use my content every day and don't credit me. So what's good for the goose, right?
By the way, this is Foodie's channel. I guess I'll post the link in the chat because I do that for everybody else, right? I think everybody has Foodie, a link to Foodie's video, but I don't want to be hypocritical.
All right, Yella, let's get into it. All right, guys, so I'm going to go one by one through these claims that Aisha is making. Now, her main claim is that I'm using Telegram and making fake profiles on Telegram to talk to men, possibly the swordfish, and somebody who's super chatting me. I'm assuming she's talking about that Anime Sucks Copen Sneed person.
Okay, Fiona's mom, do you have an opinion on this with these accounts? We're going to get more details in a minute, but do you have anything you want to share before we get too far into this?
I think it's very interesting that Aisha is talking about. I mean, she said she thinks this is how she's talking to Natter. Not like I believe she may be talking to Natter, or I wonder if she's talking to Natter. I mean, she's speaking in absolute terms. And as close as Foodie and Aisha have been, she's got to know something.
That's a very good point there. I think that I didn't really consider that Foodie was still talking to Natter. I thought it was really more that she was talking to some kind of feeders to make money. Because like when we saw that video she did the other day, that quote unquote cheat meal where she shoved the coleslaw directly into her face off the plate.
Yes.
That the way she was talking about how she just likes to sit and eat with her hands, and just all the stuff that I've learned are the hallmarks of a feeder video. In my opinion, I saw all that stuff in that video. So I'm thinking that, especially because I know she's been trying to make some extra money, or at least I assume that she's been trying to make some extra money with all the vacations and the medical expenses and Salah's expenses and all that. So yes, getting back on track. So this video here, allegedly Foodie was making accounts to talk to people on the side, and one of them was allegedly some guy who super chats for money. Well, hey, I actually totally believe that. So let's let it play a little more.
So let's just get into it here, okay? So here's the first one. She made a whole telegram with someone else's pictures. I think this is how she is talking to Naturd or that dude who's been super chatting her. First picture is the new telegram she just made. 2 and 3 are the last catfish pictures she used. So she's claiming that I even, number one, have ever talked to her on Telegram. And I have never, wallah, never talked to Aisha on Telegram. I only use Telegram very sparingly, and I use it mostly so that Salah can send me.
All right, these are the pictures that allegedly Foodie is using to catfish. Let me take our picture off so people can see it clearly here. Just gonna let this run for a second.
Messages, images that he's taken with his phone, because the resolution when you send them on Telegram is much better than WhatsApp. I have...
First of all, one thing that stands out to me, Fiona's mom, here, about the way Foodie is denying this Telegram stuff, it's very... very technical, her denial. It's like, well, I don't use Telegram because I only use this
Right.
format and I only use this. It's not, well, I don't use that. I didn't say that. It's, well, I don't because of this, because of that. It's, why do you have to give all these reasons why you don't use Telegram?
Right.
I mean, it's maybe she's just being defensive, but when somebody's being overly defensive or they're explaining unnecessarily, it raises suspicion, at least for me.
Now, I will say, I had heard one of the creators say, like, why aren't they just texting each other from phone to phone? Now, I don't know if Kuwait is like this, but I know, as I had stated, my stepdaughter and her husband, they live in Egypt, and
Okay.
we use Signal. And she even uses Signal with her husband because I guess there are countries in the Middle East that are kind of a little corrupt. And for instance, in Egypt, they will listen to all phone calls and they will pull all texts. And they just do that. They don't have the same freedoms here in the States that we do, or that we believe that we do anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that that's why, you know, a lot of these other countries do use like secondary like applications to send messages and photos. And that was something I kind of wanted to mention. So to me, it didn't seem odd that they weren't texting from cell phone to cell phone.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That does. I've heard that too. I know that, I'm trying to think, WhatsApp or Telegram, I know the names of a few of them. They are more popular in other places. Like the social media they use there is different because they have different needs, I guess. And let me welcome in Net Detective, who just came in. Good to see you, Net Detective. Thank you for coming. Hope you're having a good night. And Rose Storm Reacts says the redhead is April Snow. Are you sure it's not April O'Neil? Or you're thinking of different... It's my Ninja Turtles joke. And why would you use a corn? Oh, that's a corn star. I did not know that. Okay, Rose Thorn. Oh, April Snow is apparently a porn star. We could say it out here, I hope. A porno performer. Apparently she's using food. That's where Foodie got the picture. Oh, no problem, Detective Cochise. Hope you feel a little bit better. And I want to also mention this picture here. That looks like something blurred out there by the chest. What is that? Is that something blurred out? I don't know. It just seems like a very weird picture.
Well, if you look under Chantal's name, it looks like there's a wardrobe malfunction.
Exactly. But it looks a little like off to the side, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to start just making it.
Talked off of YouTube with Aisha on WhatsApp, and not for very long. I even blocked her at one point. She was talking about something kind of inappropriate, and I said, why are you saying these things? She was laughing when Marty...
Let me actually pause this, give an update, because there was another video that just came out very recently. Foodie made a video showing that she met a friend of hers, a female friend locally in Kuwait. I mean, I guess I believe that she really did meet this person, but there's always drama. Foodie never has good friendships. People in the chat are mentioning that they knew something was funky with Aisha just by the fact that she wanted to be Foodie's friend. And I kind of believe that. What do you think, Fiona?
Yeah. And this friend, so she originally said, I heard her say on one of the lives that this friend that she met for coffee was one of Salah's friend's wife. But yet when she was talking about her new friend, she was like, oh yeah, and Salah got to meet her, and I guess she showed up with like flowers, and she had like little cookies. Like it just seemed like real fangirl, kind of like real weird.
Almost too good to be true.
Yeah,
I got a little bit of that impression too. Like it just said, and also the timing seemed very convenient. Like she has a falling out with Aisha, and immediately she has a new pal, a new friend shows up.
Yes.
It's possible. It just seems kind of odd. And also, Foodie never has good relationships with women. She never has good friends, women.
No.
Last friend she had was Shannon. That ended badly. She had Missy Moo. That ended badly. All of her former Beezers who have ended badly. She always seems to end up badly with all the women who she knows. So I'd be surprised if this doesn't end up the same way. Not that I hope it does, but it's just the track record.
Right.
So yes, Foodie here apparently is using a porn star's pictures. That's interesting. Fallen Angel, right? If they say hi to anybody listening to the messages. Not once did I hear Aisha say she talked to Foodie by Telegram, mentions Grateful Life. Okay, Yeah, and I did not know that that was an adult entertainment worker. We got all the different descriptions here. Okay, let's let it keep
Doxed my
going.
mom and was sending a tow truck to her house.
Oh, let me rewind this just to drop. Actually, I don't need to rewind it, but just to clue anybody in. A Foodie claims that this is what Aisha and her originally had a falling out over. That when Music Biz Marty and Foodie got into it a little bit, and just for the lore on that, I actually did a show about that a while ago. But just for the little update on the lore on that, Foodie defended Cyrax, who is someone who Marty does not care for. She decided to mess with Foodie a little bit, IRL. I'll let her explain it.
She appropriate, and I said, why are you saying these things? She was laughing when Marty doxed my mom and was sending a tow truck to her house. She messaged me and said, holy, do you see what Marty's doing? He's sending a tow truck to your mom's house. LOL. So I told her, I said, why are you LOLing? It's not funny. Like, grow up. And I said, like, fake friend, bye. And I blocked her. And then she sent me an email apologizing and sucking up, which if I find it, I'll insert it here. So here's the email she sent me after I blocked her.
Okay, so this was sent 11/17. I know because they reversed the month day in a lot of places. That can be confusing sometimes, though. So that was 11/17/23. So that was a year ago. That was, wow, this is an old message already.
Foodie, I want to start this off by saying I'm freaking sorry I was coward and let Marty get in between our friendship. I really thought he had some pull and it scared me for my kid's sake. That's no excuse. I told you I would stand by your side and I didn't, and for that I'm sorry. I appreciated our conversations and how we could just talk openly and not have to worry about the other judging. Tell Salah I'm sorry also for disrespecting you. I know that's something he doesn't accept. I miss your crazy ass and Julia and Harry. I hope you're doing well. And it's okay if you don't feel comfortable replying. I just wanted you to know. And P.S. I won't say that, but there you go.
All right, well, we're just going to leave that alone. All right, and so here, what we say, Lady Nighthawk. Welcome in, Lady Nighthawk. And Lady Nighthawk has an interesting comment. I feel this new friend has stepped in to eventually try to maybe straighten Foodie out about her mouth. What do you think of that, Fiona's mom? Do you think that maybe this friend is as a motivation?
See, the problem with Foodie, though, is that I absolutely think that she does need a Muslim sister to try to help her kind of pull back the reins and be more demure, as she was talking about when she said that she's not. But the problem with Foodie is she just doesn't listen. She thinks that everything she does is right and is justified, and it's not. And, so I think that this is, and especially if she's been pulled in to kind of help Foodie with, like, to be more of a Muslim, proper Muslim,
yes,
it's gonna blow up in her face, in both of their faces.
I think that's a good analysis on that too. I think that if that's true, like Nighthawk suggests, that this new friend is trying to get Foodie to stop making such a fool of herself. I think that might start out well because she's trying to come on very, very smooth, very friendly, very, very, hey, I'm here to, I want to be your friend. But Foodie does not accept correction. And I'm going to say, right, I think that this is actually very nice if that's what's going on, because that's certainly a lot nicer than just leaving somebody to make a fool of themselves. A good friend will correct you if they really care about you and you're actually doing wrong. Sometimes that I've certainly in the past, I've had bad friends who let me, to make a fool of myself, and it's not their fault. Same. But a good friend would have told me otherwise. So I've learned my lesson on that. That just because somebody agrees with you, that doesn't make them your friend.
Right.
So yeah, how do I get off on that subject? But anyway, so yeah, I think that's a great point there, Lady Nighthawk. Let's let this keep running here. I'm gonna try to catch up on the chat.
Really nice of you. Hope you are doing well. Perhaps we can chat again on WhatsApp. Notice it doesn't say Telegram, but it says WhatsApp. Now, I know that you can, I think, based on a phone number, if somebody has WhatsApp and you have their number on WhatsApp, you can see their number on Telegram, I think, and you can invite them to Telegram or something like that. It'll say your contact. I don't know. I don't really know how it works, but I'm going to show you next a screenshot of my Telegram. Now I know you can technically delete people on there, so whatever, but literally, this is my Telegram. I've never talked to Aisha again on Telegram, and here's the screenshots. So this is the phone number, and the only phone number I've used on Telegram, and it's a Kuwait phone number. 965 is a Kuwait phone number, and
Okay, so there I think is the one they're talking about. But let's just go back really quickly. Now, this is a pretty strong coincidence that this Chantal person has a Kuwait phone number. Like, how many Chantals are there in Kuwait? Like, I'm sure there's maybe there might be some others, but that's a pretty strong coincidence right there.
Telegram.
Yeah.
And it's a Kuwait phone number. 965 is a Kuwait phone number. And this is the screenshot of the person that Aisha claims I'm catfishing with. This person, Windy Mary, I don't know. And if you look
Windy Mary. I'm not going to repeat the comment, but that was a pretty funny one somebody made about the name.
at the phone number under info, it is 613. So I don't know where she's pulling, what orifice she's pulling these pictures, these numbers. It's probably her crazy psychotic self making these up for drama, because she has made other things up for drama behind my back, which I will explain a little bit later in the video. So it's not even this.
Welcome in, Scarlett Ibis 315. Hopefully you're having a good evening there. Scarlett says her other phone number shows up and it nails her as Chantal. All right, even more, some more evidence, some more information. Yeah, and it leaves you with a good point. And also Nirvana mentioning that Foodie tends to attract trolls, not, friends, quote friends, also trolls. And that's a lot of context for somebody who only talks to their husband. Did Salah get this pic in his phone? Maybe that's why Foodie uses this pic. That's the only way she can get Salah to answer.
I think the 613 number, I think that's an Ottawa area code.
Oh.
I think that's what FFG said.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. It's a Canadian number. Nutty confirms. Yeah. Okay. So let's let it keep going here a little bit.
Same area code, number, nothing. So nice try. And this is a list of literally all of the contacts I've ever had on Telegram. Number, nothing. So nice try. And this is a list of literally all of the contacts I've ever had on Telegram. I blurred the names out of some of my friends on there because there's crazy people on the internet who like to dox others. So I am not going to show you those because you will find them and harass them and be annoying. And
you will find them. I love how she just presumes that. I'm not going to say that nobody out there will, because there's so many people out there. There might be someone wild, but the way she says it, it's just so negative. It's like, oh, you people are going to do this, do that. I guess I've never been in that situation where I've had so many people watching what I do, but I guess it must be frustrating.
She's so condescending, though. I mean...
No, you're right. You're right. I think that's actually a great way to put it. It comes across because even though it might be a legitimate concern, the way she says it is very condescending.
Crazy as usual. So the cat is somebody I was talking to about a cat previously before Julia. Apartment is when I was looking for apartments. I messaged them on Telegram. They had a Telegram listed when I was thinking of getting a place in Canada. That's about it. So Rena I haven't talked to in forever, but she's still in my contacts and she popped up there. Okay, so that's about it. I don't catfish people. I've been married for 2 years now, and I just have no interest in these foolish games. And really, the one who's interested in this and making up things for drama is Aisha. Sadly, she turned out to be another Cowbella, and I think the motive in all this is just...
Tucker and Friends, did you mean Aisha, or was there somebody named Elisa as well? But yeah, I do think that Foodie's over-explaining it, and Sour Cat here with an interesting comment, saying that Chantal has a history of making fake channels, fake profiles, and that kind of stuff. So the burden of proof is kind of on her. I think that's fair.
Because isn't that where the Pondu came from? She was...
Absolutely did. And Foodie, I think, pretty sure that Foodie, she did that with Natter. She's done that with other men where she's tried to pretend to be somebody else to trick them. And didn't Foodie also say she had 2 phones in her last Thailand visa run out of your reports? I think she did. She may have. I don't honestly remember. Sorry?
I think she did. I think Nettie's right.
I think she may have too. I just don't remember for sure.
Just to get she was trying to get Salah's attention. She'll claim she doesn't care for him. She can't stand him. Yeah, after he blocked you, sure. She's tried to reach out. The following screenshots I'll show you. She's tried to reach out to him.
Yes.
Well, here they are.
Scarlett Ibis here with a great point that Foodie's information has been publicly available a lot of times, and people just aren't that interested in trolling her. People aren't taking them up on it. So Foodie here shows some more messages from Aisha, though she sent these apparently to Salah. If you read the messages directly, well, let me get your opinion on it, Fiona's mom, if you had a chance to look at these yet.
I did. And I will say that this actually really bothered me that Aisha did that, because in that culture, that is a huge no-no. I mean, my son-in-law, I don't even talk to him directly.
Mm-hmm.
We are never alone in any room ever without his stepdaughter or Fiona's dad. And that's just his culture. And he's Christian. He's not Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really was off put by this when I found out Aisha did this. She should not have reached out to Salah outside of Foodie. She shouldn't have done that.
I agree with you there. Even though what she wrote in these messages itself is nothing wrong with what's in these messages.
Right.
I agree that she shouldn't have, that just reaching out was inappropriate. Although the messages themselves are not offensive. And
right.
Yeah, so I think also that Foodie mentioned, and even though I don't think it's true, I think Foodie is just trying to, she's very jealous. She's like, oh, she's trying to get Salah's attention. I don't think that's what it was, but maybe it could have been. It could have been. I don't think that's what it was, but it was still inappropriate.
No, I don't think so either. But it doesn't surprise me that Salah didn't say anything to Foodie, because he probably just didn't. I mean, imagine what it's like living with Foodie. She probably,
Yeah.
Someone in the chat, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I think it was Hippieista had said that, if he didn't want to eat his spaghetti with the vegetables, that he was going to starve. And that was what she said online. Can you imagine what she's like when she's not online? She's probably the most volatile person to live with.
I think you're right. I think Foodie can be very nasty, very bitter.
Mm-hmm.
She's willing to lie at the drop of a hat. She'll make up false allegations on people. Foodie is able to be nice on camera when she wants to be, but the real her has come out far too many times.
Mm-hmm.
Elizu with two Foodies. I think these are the two names Foodie used in the past here: Marie Pondu and Christine Bazilon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And nobody wants to get closer to her husband either. At least I don't think so. Nobody. Certainly nobody here does. I could say that for sure. All right, let's let this run a little more.
I will read them out for those of you who have trouble reading. Okay, so.
I love how she says that. I don't know if that was. I don't think she meant that to come across rude, but it kind of did. I'll read this for anybody who has trouble reading. Too stupid. That's what it sounded like, the way she said that.
Yeah. From right to left, like in Arabic. Aisha, okay. Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, and honestly, the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm worried that Chantal is going to eat herself to death in your home, and that's going to be...
All right, that part of the message is actually really kind of just... I know it's not meant to be funny, but I had a bit of a laugh when I heard that. I'm worried she's going to eat herself to death in your home. Well, first of all, it's Chantal's home. You're right. It's not even Salah's home. He doesn't even live there full time. But
true.
But even if he did, I don't think he cares. I really don't.
No.
Devastating, Salah. Anyways, I have the screenshots, but you might want to check Chantal's Telegram. She made an account with a fake picture, so I don't know who she's talking to. I don't care if you show my messages to Chantal because she knows what she's doing. I really hope you at least let me send you the screenshots so you can see what she's doing. All right, just a side note on this first one. So Aisha, you're worried about me eating myself to death. Meanwhile, I've seen you and you're overweight yourself. So maybe worry about your own health journey and maybe worry about your own marriage. Are you newly married? What is a happily married woman doing? Messaging Salah, right? Just like you always say, just like haters always say, happily married but into drama. So your idea is to your idea of trying to correct a lost Muslim like myself who's eating herself to death is to create fake profiles and try to...
Welcome in, Ollie's Euthanasia. We got Fiona's mom on tonight. Long-time viewer of the channel. One of our mods here. She's come on tonight to share a few words. And with that said, Fiona's mom, this whole Aisha thing, we're looking at these messages. Even though there's nothing directly offensive in these messages come across kind of aggressive. Now that I'm taking a second look at them.
Yeah.
I do think these almost were intended to stir a reaction or to cause some trouble. Because if they were just, this is the kind of thing where even though it's maybe not good to ignore, like if I saw something, if I put myself in Aisha's position and I saw a friend posing with maybe like a fake account or something, it's one of those things where I wouldn't want to, I wouldn't be okay with it, but addressing it would cause more problems than it would solve.
Right.
So I would just leave it alone for that reason. And I think that here she's creating more problems by bringing it up, even though maybe it's ostensibly to help her. It's more trouble. The cure is worse than the disease here.
Right.
That's my feeling on this thing. All right. So
That'll ruin my marriage. Right. That's even better, Aisha. What a way to handle things. Sure. Anyway. All right. The next one. And he didn't answer her, so she goes on again. Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, and honestly, the only reason I'm doing...
And also, just to respond to chat here a little bit, Nirvana with a great comment. Foodie's bees are all hitting on Salah behind the scenes. It's so transparent. Today in her chat, I saw a comment. I don't remember the name, but some woman said something about how, oh, hey, seriously, does Salah, not to cause any problems, I forgot how she worded it, but she's like, does Salah have any male friends or relatives? I'm looking for a more traditional guy, and it's hard for me to find that in Germany. Maybe does he have any Muslim male friends who are... And it's like, oh, come on. This is just so, transparent. I think she's just trolling. I don't even think she's serious. I think it's just a troll.
Right.
Because it's so blatant. It just, I don't even think it's for real. But, yeah. So, Nirvana knows what she's talking about there. All right, let's let it keep going here.
This is because I'm worried that Chantel is going to eat herself to death in your home, and that's going to be devastating. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Okay. Hey, can I talk
read
to
it
you
twice.
just a bit? I have proof Chantel is using Telegram and pretending to be some other woman. She's still active on her OnlyFans as well. That is a complete lie. Just a flat out lie. Not the Telegram is too, but now she's adding more in there to try to get his attention. She even admits to lying just to get his attention. If not for yourself, think about your family. They have begged you to leave her. And if you're okay with the disrespect, then I guess I tried. Why do you feel like you need to be Captain Save a Muslim? Look at your own backbiting.
All right. First of all, that's just a funny expression. I like that. But I'm going to play I don't want to say devil's advocate here because that comes across a little wrong. I'm going to play what? It's going to be contrarian here. And I'm going to say, well, if Foodie is serious about her religion and her newfound religious convictions, then it's kind of your job to help your sister to do better, to get her back on track. I don't talk much about religion, not that I plan to, but I mean, I know that just speaking for myself, if somebody said, "Hey, Dr. Phil, let me, you're not doing right, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. Let me help you to be a better Christian and do this right." I would if it was correct, I mean, I would at least listen to them, hear what they said. So I don't think that's inherently a wrong thing. I think the way she went about it was wrong.
Right.
But for Foodie to be upset about the idea of somebody correcting her just is like, that comes across very arrogant, even though Aisha was not the one to do it.
That's why I think that this friendship with this new person, I mean, because Foodie does not even entertain someone's opinion on how she may be presenting herself. She just simply does not care.
I agree with you on that. So do you think Cat C is saying he treats women very differently? Do you mean Salah? Interesting. All right, let's let it run a little bit.
Gossiping, Aisha.
Oh, sorry, Jonah's mom, you were saying something?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's so easy to dang that proverbial carrot in front of Salah. And given half of a second or half of an opportunity, he's going to bite.
Yeah, he's only with Foodie until he sees something else come along. He has no loyalty to her, and she has none to him either. So that's right. That's what I think is one of the saddest things about this whole thing, Foodie and Salah. As much as they kind of get along, and as much as they kind of deserve each other, neither of them really likes the other one and would happily leave them in a second if they had a better opportunity. So I think that's pretty pathetic in a way.
You like to say that, gluttony is so forbidden in Islam. Well, eating disorders are not, and I'm trying to rectify that now. So your response to being a better Muslim and trying to teach me to be better is to lie, which is against what the original wife, with the wife of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was so against. Lying. Lying is a big sin, and will send you right to Jahannam, so beware.
I love how this is the most that Foodie has talked about anything religious or anything. Only when she wants to insult somebody else. The only Arabic she knows is Hanzir and Sharmuta. How to call somebody a pig and a hooker. And the only thing she knows about Islam is how somebody else is going to go to hell. That's the only thing she seems to know. This is just so. It's so predictable and it's absolutely hilarious because all the people who talked about how Foodie's religion is fake and she's just wearing it for cosplay and all that, she's playing into all of the jokes herself.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, I think, and I don't think that I'm the only person that thinks this, that she put on that hijab and the abaya simply to hide her body and her extra skin under her face. She's just making that effort. And what I don't get is that you can still see her body. She's still not modest. All of her clothes are basically skin tight because she's gained so much weight.
Good point there. Very good point. Where she's following, the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law. And Nutty, I have to address this comment here. Nutty with a very interesting thought here. Maybe one of the new Beezers is really just K Bella with a new account. And I have to say this here. I want people to go see for themselves because K Bella has made some absolutely shocking accusations. And this has nothing to do with Foodie. I went to K Bella's channel the other day just to see what was going on. And I don't want to even, this video might get cut off if I even say what she's saying. But just as far as she alleges that she was taken hostage by some people and she was drugged against her will and all these just very shocking allegations. And it's just, she reported any of this to the authorities or anything? Like, these are just some absolutely crazy allegations. And I'm just interested to know if this is going to go anywhere, because if these people are out there doing this, they really need to go be arrested or something, right? Like, she needs to go.
Right.
Like, if this is for real, there needs to. And I don't think she would joke about something so serious. If this is for real, she needs to, make sure something's done about this. But
How
yeah,
can
everybody.
How can there be so many broken people in Girl World?
It's just, I think it just attracts some wild folks, but.
Yeah.
K Bella is I probably shouldn't have teased it. I probably should have got the clip and showed it and not just teased it. But yeah, I guess I'd have to do a trigger warning if I showed the video.
Wow.
All right, so let's get back to Foodie here, and Foodie's arguing it with the fake cos. What was I saying? Right.
Sorry for the dramatics. Anyway, back to the screenshots. As you can see, he blocked Aisha. Honestly, up until now, he didn't even tell me about this.
Diana.
Probably because he didn't want me to make a video like this and give any attention to it. I don't know. I don't really care. He didn't reply. He blocked her right away. And honestly, this just gives me total Cowbella vibes. Messaging my husband, trying to cause problems in our marriage. Why else would you message him and tell him I'm making up things on Telegram? Why are you sucking up to him, trying to prove that I'm cheating and that I have an OnlyFans? And really, you know nothing about his family situation. Really, you have no idea. It's completely 100% untrue that his family...
Well, good, remember for shoving it. Hopefully you're having a good night. Good to see you.
Doesn't like me. Nobody knows anything about his family. And really, it's none of your business. So... I don't know if you're projecting. I don't know what your issue is. I really have no idea what turned you to this, but I think you're the one who needs some deep reflection. All right, moving on to the rest of the screenshots. All right, so someone asked, did she tell you his family begged him to leave her? Aisha, yes. She's not even allowed in their family home. Like, aren't you worried you're going to burst into flames telling lies like that in a hijab? I'm legit serious.
Foodie, for you to be so... This Foodie could not be more hypocritical. She's talking about, oh, how are you gonna lie? Where didn't she just say that she lost 30 pounds in Thailand wearing a hijab that didn't even fit her anymore?
Yeah, while she was stoned, by the way.
Yes. This is and I've always said I don't have an issue if people want to have a drink or have a smoke or whatever, but don't get up there and lie to my face about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this Foodie.
How do you know this? Have you talked to anybody in his family, Aisha? Where's that proof, huh? As if any of his family would ever talk to you. I really don't think so. My relationship with his family, I don't talk about it because it's none of anyone's business, and I don't want to bring his family near any of this because people have already tried to, dox them, they've messaged them, they've just been downright nasty and disgusting, and I just have no interest in even entertaining that. So, again, how would you know anything about that?
Alizia, that's the reason why I'm hesitating to show the video myself, because I want to find out a little bit more. I don't know if it's for real or if it's not. I don't want to say, I don't know enough yet to say for sure, but I just wanted to mention it because it was just such a shocking set of allegations. I'm going to try to find out a little bit more, and then maybe I'm going to address it in further detail in the future. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of put it out there that it's very shocking.
What makes me roll on the floor laughing is this Nelly person, these people asking this person these questions as if they know anything about my life. I've talked to Aisha a few times on WhatsApp and that's it. I've never ever called her on a telephone call, nothing. And they're salivating like, ooh, somebody who knows things. Right, just like Salah's former friend already also knew a lot, right? It was all lies. Just another thirsty person wanting 15 minutes. So here's your...
She didn't go to the cops at all? Okay. Well, that casts a lot of doubt on Kay Bella's story, because for her to make such a serious allegations and to not even call the authorities, just go make videos on YouTube. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this alone. I think this sounds like it's not. I don't know. I'm just leaving this
15 minutes.
alone.
You're welcome. All right, this has got to be
I think I'm just gonna leave that alone.
dumbest comment, and if you believe it, you're even worse. Did she say anything about bringing him to Canada? Her answer is, yeah, she tried to get me to sponsor him, LOL. Really? All right. I think if anything, you're more disqualified to sponsor him than I would be. Because number one, you're not even Canadian. You live in the U.S. All
right, this is crazy.
You didn't even have enough money.
Fiona's mom, what do you think about this part here? This story about how she tried to get me to sponsor him. That is one of the craziest allegations here.
That is pretty crazy, but I think she's also, well, I guess it makes more sense to try to get her family, but I think, didn't she try to get her aunt or her parents to sponsor him into Canada?
Foodie?
Yeah, Foodie.
Really? I did not know that. I was under the impression that she wanted to sponsor him, but she wasn't able to, but I didn't know that she actually made, talked to anybody else about it yet.
Because I think there was, when she had gotten that planner, there was an appointment for H&R, which I guess is like some it's some attorney's office that specializes in getting people in to Canada from other countries. I maybe I'm dreaming that. I don't know. Is anyone in the chat remember that?
Well, I do remember that they were talking about him. I remember they talked about him going to see somebody, the government people, about some papers or something. So I know that, I don't know, but I believe that his interest has always been to leave Kuwait and come to the United States or Canada or somewhere else, because he's not a Kuwait citizen. He has refugee status over there. So he
right, for Syrian, yeah.
So he has every reason to want to go someplace else. It's not like he has a great situation there.
Right.
So I thought that was worth mentioning. And Grateful Life here with an interesting comment. Americans can sponsor. That is, I don't think they can sponsor people into Canada, but they can sponsor people into America, certainly. So, yeah, I mean, that's certainly possible.
And Grateful Life is also saying that Missy Moo talked about sponsorship as well.
Oh, I remember that now.
That's right.
Now. That was who talked about it. Missy Moo. Chantel talked about Missy Moo trying to, I remember, was posing as his mom or something. Like, what was it? Were they going to do? Have her pose as his aunt? All right.
money to go fly and meet your new husband or whatever for a while.
Yes.
You were complaining about how broke you were. You couldn't afford a membership. You couldn't afford anything. And I'm not shaming her for that. That's fine. I'm just saying that you do have to prove when you sponsor someone that you can financially support them. And with her financial status,
That's a good idea.
and her
I
being
will add that.
American, why would I ask her to sponsor Salah? Really? I mean, it doesn't make any logical sense. But again, there's no logic in Gore World. Only hate, lies, blind hate, and lies and hypocrisy. All right. Boba Bunny asked, do you know if he has gotten approved to go to Canada? If so, are they planning a trip there? She cannot bring him to Canada, Aisha says. She found out that her financial issues in Canada automatically denies the visa. You guys can message Boundless Immigration, and they'll tell you everything they told.
All right. So she cannot bring him to Canada. This is Aisha posted this. So I guess this is just kind of confirming what we already knew.
Her. So not only is this person being super invasive and looking into the immigration rules, blah, blah, blah. Number one.
Welcome in, Bubbles and Marshmallows. Hope you're having a good night. Kuwait is so tiny too, not much to do there. I guess if you're Salah, you're young guy. But to be fair, I guess it depends which if you live in the city or you live out in the states.
One, you don't know the full situation. You don't know my full situation. You don't know. Anyone can look this up, yes. But again, how do you even know anything? Like, how do you even know we even want to go to Canada? That we've applied, that we're looking into it? Because none of that's true. We're staying put here.
Okay, I want to address what Foodie says, but first, Grateful Life with a very interesting comment. I had no idea about this. This is totally new for me. Oh. Apparently, Americans can sponsor people into Canada. Well, shows what I know on that.
Interesting.
It's probably not easy, though. I'm going to say that. It probably requires some kind of paperwork or probably requires jumping through some special hoops. But if it is possible, I still was not aware. And Empress Shavin in here just mentioning that Foodie, her bankruptcies are what mainly is prohibiting her from sponsoring someone. So 10 years is what it may take her to be able to do that. So it's not looking reasonable. Again, did you have anything you want to add on this? Or
yeah, I will say that as far as like the visas, it is difficult. And it doesn't even have to do with like anything about the person other than the country in which they have the visa. Because I know like my stepdaughter, my son-in-law, he has an Egyptian visa and he still cannot get to Sweden. He cannot get that visa approved for the life of him. So now that they're married, of course, he's applying for a US visa, and they're also trying to expand their family. They're trying to have a baby. So they'll need that too. But, so it's not even just like, because I know it's like some people wonder what it is with the person, but sometimes it's just simply the country and the instability of the visa in which the country that they're coming from. But he gets into a lot of different countries. They travel all over the world for their job. And, but he can't, his brothers live in Sweden. They have a restaurant there, my son-in-law's, and he can't get there. His entire family has been there, but he can't get there. He cannot get that visa approved.
It's wild sometimes, and I know that the laws they're very they're Byzantine. That's the word of the day here. Very confusing.
But you can bet that if I wanted to bring him for a visit, he would be going for a visit. And if I ever wanted to bring him to Canada, eventually, that would happen too.
Okay, so this is a pretty strong claim from Foodie here. If I ever wanted to bring him to Canada, that would happen. So what's she saying? She doesn't want to bring him to Canada? Okay.
And there's nothing you can do about it. All right, here's some more BS. Lizzie
Not in
asks,
Kuwait, she can't.
how do you know his family begged him to leave her? We already know this, but Foodie Beauty tell you this, or was it him? She liked to pull a nattard when she wanted to talk crap on Salah. She would call me. What does that even mean, pull a nattard? She's super paranoid about people sharing her messages. I never want to betray someone's trust, but this entire situation is different. Right, you're so full of it. I never want to betray someone's trust. So you go out of your way to triple down on betraying someone's trust. Don't worry, fake Muslim Aisha. I never trusted you.
Foodie calling anybody a fake Muslim is so rich. And even if they are like the world's fakest Muslim, even if they have like a hijab made out of toilet paper, she still has no right to insult them as a fake Muslim. She is so fake. Like they would have to be faker than her, which I don't see how they could be. They would have to be like made out of like a computer program or something to be more fake than Foodie. They have to be artificial intelligence.
But it's funny that you don't show any of our real messages, right? I never talked to her on the phone. I never once had a phone call with her. I don't like talking on the phone. You can even ask another Beezer, who I talk to on WhatsApp. We never talk on the phone because
That's actually a good point, Ollie. You got to be careful in this girl world stuff. Like we were talking earlier about. We have a great group of people here, but there's a lot of shady characters surrounding this whole girl world thing. We might have a nice little neighborhood here, but go a little bit outside past the gate, and you might get jumped.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not so good out there. And right, Nirvana Foodie calling anybody else exactly Tucker and Friends. How could she say that? And Sour Cat, I think that Foodie lies so much that it gives Aisha more credibility, even though like what she's saying doesn't necessarily all sound believable, just because Foodie lies so much, right?
Yeah.
I can believe it. No problem, Fallen Angel. You have a good night. Get some good rest. Feel well, and we'll see you next week, I hope. Well, Lizu, all right. Well, in that case, Lizu will bug you before you leave.
I said I don't like talking on the phone. I've never talked on the phone to her ever. So, blatant lie. But I'm the liar, right? In this community, I'm the liar, right? All right. This is about Big Turk. This is a Turkish fellow I was involved with prior to ever meeting Salah in Canada.
Is this guy allegedly Salah's, not uncle, but was this one who's allegedly Salah's nephew or cousin? Because people were talking about how she dated Salah's uncle right around this time also. I don't know if that's true or not.
So. I thought he was. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's just, I think, an interesting tidbit here. Nobody knows for sure, but allegedly that's how Salah was introduced. I don't know if it's the same guy as this, but there was some guys around that time. One of them was allegedly a relation of his.
I will not post Big Turk's information or anything pertaining to him. I posted screenshots from my phone of 2 numbers that belong to Chantal that I have personally talked to her on. For them to just magically turn into 2 catfish accounts still using her name. So, actually that can happen, like in all seriousness. If you don't change your phone number on Telegram after getting a new phone number, maybe it's somebody else's. Like, I haven't talked to Aisha in so long on WhatsApp or on Telegram. So somebody could have the new phone number, have taken my old phone number. Who knows? I don't know. But whatever the case, I don't know. It's not me. All right. Why would I catfish using my real name? That makes 0 sense. Why would I still use Chantal? Why would I catfish?
All right. Why would she catfish using your real name? Why would she still use Chantal? Well, first of all, these hypotheticals mean nothing, because even if she could catfish with her real name and her real picture and somebody, I mean, there's no rules for making a fake online profile. There's nothing that says, oh, because you have this, it must be real. Because you have this, it must be fake. These are just purely hypothetical. So but anyway, I want to read this comment here. Apparently, Valerie Valera with the correction, or with the clarification. It was a married guy who was Salah's relation. Not Big Turk was not. It was just in a similar time. And again, Purple Spirit is correct. It's just a rumor, but it's an interesting rumor. It's a believable rumor, certainly.
Beautiful. What the fuck? I don't need to catfish anybody. I'm gorgeous. And speaking of Big Turk, this is the most disgusting, vile thing she's done yet. Dottie Fan asked, but you didn't try and prevent her from taking advantage of Big Turk, did you? Sorry if I misunderstood. Taking advantage of who? Taking advantage of who? If anybody took advantage of anybody, it was him. He took advantage of me for rides, money that I was giving him.
Took advantage of your money. Is that what you call it when you pay somebody for services? They took advantage of you? Like he basically charged you for relations. I'll just say it like that. And for her to say he took advantage of her, I mean, unless you were disappointed with the services, and it sounds like you weren't. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Things. Where's your proof that I was taking advantage of him? So if anybody I get with, I'm just automatically taking advantage of them. All right, yeah.
Well, yeah, you are. Actually, hold on a second. Yes, you are, Foodie. Anybody you get with, you're taking advantage of, because nobody would be with you if you were honest. So you must be like just biologically. If Foodie was being straight up and wasn't taking advantage, they wouldn't be there. So that's my theory on that.
I reached out to him and had him block her on everything. I told him the truth. She had STDs and was using him. I don't care.
So what? She told the truth. She had STDs and was using. How long has Aisha known Foodie? Fiona's mom. Did you? I mean, the timeline here. It seems a little bit stretched out. Like I thought she didn't even know Foodie back then.
I thought she met Aisha around the time she met Salah.
I thought so too. So I think
Yeah.
Turk was before that. So
He
I'm just not really
was.
sure about the timeline of this whole thing. Maybe she reached out to him after the fact. I don't know.
But I'm a
So,
huge proponent of telling someone if she did not say that she had an STI or an STD and she was with someone in an intimate way, and Big Turk was only 19. He was like
Yes, he was
a
young.
child, you know? And I mean, that's ludicrous.
Yeah, young, and I agree with you about that. That's something you want to be honest with people about. I mean, yeah, just better to be safe than sorry. Be honest with people, and she's a willing sugar mama. Good way to describe Foodie. That's exactly what she is. And if she has, like I said, if she has a relationship with somebody, she is taking advantage of them because she's not going to be honest with them. Yeah, Natter era. And Sour Cat with an interesting comment. Foodie using fake profiles because she can get away with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly it.
Yep.
I don't know if you're just clearly delayed, like just like Yaba.
Oh,
So number
yeah,
one,
and also Foodie has no problem taking advantage of a younger man. I'm not going to say she took advantage of anybody in this case because I don't know the full story, but I don't think she would be. I think she'd be okay with taking advantage of somebody's inexperience.
Right.
you reaching out to him back in the day when I was talking to him and then acting like you're my friend, do you realize how disgusting of a person you are? Like, how do I even have to point that out? Why were you messaging him and lying about me, telling him I had ST? This is like what a mean girl in high school does to try to ruin another girl's reputation. And you call yourself a sister. Aisha, you need to you're disgusting. You're not a Muslim, okay? Even me smoking weed and eating copious amounts of food because I have addiction problems is not as bad as messaging someone's love interest and lying about them.
Whoa. Okay, Fiona's mom. Let me get your opinion on that. The foodie here, deciding to grade her sins as being better than somebody else's. Isn't she always saying about only God can judge, only God can? Well, apparently now Foodie can judge too. She can judge too.
And it's interesting that she cherry picks, and it's always to what fits her narrative. I mean, she talks about other people being overweight and she says that she has addiction issues. Well, maybe someone else does too, but she doesn't take that into consideration. She just jumps on, why are people talking about me being overweight when they're overweight too? I mean, it's like if you're going to give yourself grace, you need to give other people grace too.
Good point. If she said, it's very different to say something like, well, Aisha doesn't have any room to criticize, and for her to get up there and say Aisha's no good, and what I do is okay, and Aisha's worse because she does the same stuff, but she's worse somehow.
Right.
So yeah, I get your point on that. I think that's a good point. And people in the chat here are commenting. Apparently, Aisha was around before Salah. She was around the Natter timeline. I was not aware of that. Interesting.
I wasn't either. That's good.
I wonder if Aisha was one of the people who originally got Foodie to interested in changing her religion or becoming religious, I should say.
Oh, I wonder.
Maybe. Nirvana mentioning Foodie praise on young mentally delayed men. Hey, not just young mentally delayed men, but yes. But yeah, you're right. She does. Yeah, and apparently Sour Cat also confirming that Aisha was around longer than we realized. Good night, Nancy.
Good.
I hope you have a good sleep, and we're probably going to be winding it down here and not too much longer because I've been on about 2 hours already, and that's usually my limit. But I think this video is not too much longer, so we're going to try to close it out, I think.
Spreading lies about someone online for everyone to believe. So you sit in your place.
Is that all right for you, Fiona's mom? Do you want to stay on for a few more minutes here and finish out this video with me?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, let's do it.
You have no place to talk about me being a good Muslim or a good person. You're just deflecting and gaslighting. Okay? So there's a story about this. I remember Big Turk suddenly not talking to me anymore because he wrote me a message and said people were messaging him. Someone messaged him and said that I had STDs, which is completely false. I've taken tests and I'm clean as a whistle, okay? I don't know if you're projecting or what. After all the men you're messaging, the only person you're saying I'm messaging all these men, Aisha. The only proof we've seen so far is that you're messaging men, Big Turk and Salah. Where's proof that I'm messaging anyone? Even the pictures of the catfish, you don't even have proof that I've messaged anyone. Even if I was making up these accounts, where's your proof that I'm messaging anybody with them? Where's your proof that I messaged Natard and this other?
Where's your proof? Where's your proof? Well, I mean, where's your proof? That's usually not the best. That's usually when somebody starts demanding proof. That's usually not a sign of innocence. Although it's not automatically a sign of guilt. It doesn't really help Foodie's case to say, well, she has no proof. She has no proof. Well, then you must be innocent, Foodie.
Person. These are all speculations that are built on lies. So how dare you put them out like they're truth? You don't feel bad? You don't feel immoral doing these things? Serious question. I'd like to know. So it was you who was responsible for him not messaging me anymore.
Means she's full of spit? I don't know.
But funnily enough, he then said, well, my friend is interested in you. He sent me a picture of his friend as if like he doesn't care about his friend getting STDs, but whatever. Or I should say potentially, because it wasn't true. So, and anyway, I always use protection. Always. You guys saw pictures of it. I hate to rehash and go back years ago over something so stupid, but unfortunately that's the case. This person back in the day, Aisha, when I was
always uses protection. I'm not gonna say. First of all, she wants to talk about proof. Where's your proof of that, Foodie? I mean, not that I want to see it. I definitely do not want to see it. But seriously, you want to talk about standard of proof? That's something you can't prove.
Big Turk messaged him, told him lies about me, that I had STDs, and was using him. Okay. Because hooking up with someone is just using them in bad ulterior motives. All right, okay.
When you're Foodie and you're lying, it's using them. Yes, it is using them. If you're not being straight up, you're using them.
So when he was consenting and he was doing it too. All right. So and then he stopped seeing me, which is fine, whatever. I got married and moved on with my life. I'm not going to cry over it. And then
he stopped seeing me. Wasn't he a prostitute? Like, didn't you hire him like for sex and he stopped seeing you? Like, I love how he stopped seeing me. But did you stop paying him? Like, is that what happened? Or did he just he's like, no, I can't do this anymore. It's too disgusting. Like, what happened?
Well, and Cat C makes an interesting point that she was like, well, how did she get the throat video then?
Good question.
That's true. That's not, you don't get that from using protection.
And Nutty says the only time Foodie used protection was when she planted it around her room and acted like she had a wild night. Oh, no problem. Good night, Sour Cat Lemons. Thank you for coming in. Absolutely. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And we're not going to be on here too much longer. But yes, have a great evening, Sour Cat. See you around. All right, let's
turn around and beg me to unblock her and act like my friend. Like, the psychosis is I don't know. It's on par with Cowbella. Congratulate yourself. Why don't you guys both go and join a club together? You need to. Losers Club 101. All right.
They were in a club together. They were both beezers.
This one says, this is what I sent for full openness and transparency. As someone who heard stories on calls with Chantal about his family and how devastated his father has been since his mother passed away, I also don't know about OnlyFans. I just tried to get him to open the message. So you're admitting to lying to get attention from Salah. So what makes you think everything else you just said isn't a lie for attention? And furthermore, lying for attention, and more evidence is this hashtag Foodie Beauty and hashtag animal abuser. I saw in another message. I wasn't an animal abuser when you were begging to be my friend, right?
Okay, now that's actually something there. Not that I'm questioning Foodie's being a horrible pet owner, but I think that's worth mentioning that Aisha now is trying to act like she's always had a problem with Foodie and always had a problem with the things that Foodie does. But for a long time, she and Foodie were tight. So
right.
I find Aisha's change of heart to be rather questionable.
No, but now that I want nothing to do with you because you're psychotic and won't give you any attention beyond this, and you're desperate for it, this is what you do. You hashtag my name hoping for some kind of recognition. Anyway,
that's what I thought too.
I can't believe I can't believe somebody would do this. I just can't. I'm always surprised, and I shouldn't be. And actually, I'm kind of getting mad at myself for even making this video and giving this nutter attention, using Sam's word, nutter. And you know, I'm not going to even read any more of these screenshots. I don't think there's any left anyways, maybe one or two. You need to seriously leave his family out of this. You know nothing about the situation whatsoever. And honestly, if anyone ever has a problem with me, that's their problem, not mine anyways. So I don't really care.
That's such an arrogant, condescending statement. I love that word condescending is a good word for Foodie. Just if anybody ever has a problem with me, well, that's their problem. What? Like, it's not possible you could ever be wrong about anything? Like, the way she just says that. Anybody ever has a problem with me. It's their fault.
Care what anyone thinks about me. I never do. I never will.
Oh,
I
and
am
also
me.
just to anybody listening who's not able to see the chat is confirming about Foodie having STDs with Natter. I thought she did too, so I'm glad. Thank you for confirming that, folks. I also thought I'd heard that, so I don't know where she's coming at now. She's saying she never had it.
And if people have a problem with me, right. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I'm me, you know. So, but this is just ridiculous, and I don't know what else to say. I just wanted to disprove this idiot's lies, and yeah, because I'm honestly shocked that one minute this person is begging to be my friend again, and the next they're acting like a, you know, grade school bully, an adult with children. Once again, a nice pattern we see here. Nice example you're setting. And somebody who's apparently happily newly married, but is messaging Salah and trying to ruin our marriage. So for somebody who is using the excuse that they've done all this because I discussed them, I'm going to kill myself on camera by overeating. Meanwhile, they're also fat. And
Chad here has a few really great comments, a bunch of great comments, but just a few in particular I'm going to focus in on. Did Foodie pay this fake Aisha? You're right here. Cat C, why would anyone want to do such a long, pointless con? Yeah, what was Aisha even... Why would Aisha do... If Aisha made all this crap up, why? Like, it makes more sense for her for this to have been real, even... Because I just don't see why it would be fake.
Well, and I think that, you know, at the very least, you know, Foodie's receipts are way weak.
Yeah. I don't see why she would fake something so pointless. Like, it's...
Their answer is to be a good sister by gently advising me. That's what you're supposed to do if you don't agree with something that someone, you know, Muslim sister or brother is doing. You gently remind them of how they should be behaving, or you just mind your own effing business and let Allah judge. That's really what I believe you should be doing. So instead, your idea is to make up lies and rumors, trying to defame me for some attention, and then message my husband, try to make up lies to break up our marriage, and claim I'm cheating, more lies, claim I'm still on OnlyFans, more lies, which we need proof of, by the way. I really don't know what your goal here is and what your angle was. I'm just really confused.
Okay, so this is basically the end of this video here. I one last little link I want to show before we end it. I want to link Nutty's video. Hippieista also just posted a link. If you want to post a link to that Hippieista, that's absolutely fine. But before Fiona's mom, did you have a last thought you wanted to give on this Aisha controversy?
Just, you know, I think that it's going to be interesting to see what, if anything, does play out, if she really is going to get an attorney and what she intends on doing with it. I think that, you know, I mean, I don't know what the laws are in other places, but in the States, they would just basically tell you, you know, it's just stay away from each other, you know?
Yeah, right.
Don't talk to each other.
This is pretty not too serious as far as controversies go. Okay, so let me show a little quick link, a little clip here. I got a video from Nutty's channel. I wanted to show this. This is a video that Nutty did about Foodie's cheese shopping spree.
I would put money on it that she dreamt of it on the plane trip home. I'm going to be editing out the boring parts and any eating noises we may encounter. Okay, let's do this.
Hi guys. All right, so we're on our way to the Jamia.
I know a lot of you have already seen this. I know a lot of you have seen the original already, but I just wanted to just show a little clip just to give an idea of the video that Nutty did. She's got a lot of other really funny videos, shorts and stuff, but this one I thought was pretty good just to give you a little taste of it.
Food, much needed to restock my kitchen, so I did do an order online, which will come later tonight. But yeah, I want to pick up some things at the physical store. So Yella, let's go. Hey guys, let's go in and see what we got. First thing I'm gonna do is go upstairs and check out the specials. Yeah, upstairs they put all the sale items, so.
And then he also does a tally of all the cheese shopping. Here.
Slices, got some cheddar cheese slices. I'm gonna have these for a while. We just yesterday finished the cheese slices we got last time. We do.
All right. Just want to do a quick little one because it's getting late. All right, everybody. So Hippieista, yes, and here's a link to Hippieistas channel. Be sure to check out Hippieista as well. I'll probably show a clip for another week. But I think it's time for us to say goodnight, Fiona's mom. I've been having fun, but it's past my bedtime. I don't see Hannibal on. I usually send folks over there, but if he's not on tonight, I think we're just going to wind it down. So would you like to say goodbye, say any last thoughts?
Yes, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Great to have you on, Fiona's mom. You were excellent. I had a lot of fun with you, and I'm glad to hear that you're feeling that you're on the right track. I guess it's a better way to say it. It sounds like you're on the right track with your health again. So I'm glad to hear that. I really hope that you get some more good news about that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Well, I think we're gonna start winding it down here with the music. So let me put that on. And let me just say goodbye to everybody here. It's past my bedtime, Elizu. I gotta be up early tomorrow. All right, everybody. Good night. Yeah, right. Let's keep it going all night long. Can't stay here, but you don't gotta go home at least, right? Good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. I had a lot of fun. You folks are awesome. Thank you again to Fiona's mom. And also shout out Skinny Queen, shout out Kidney J, shout out House of Hannibal, shout out all my awesome mods, all my awesome chatters. You folks are great. Good night, everybody. Good night.